My man said top 5. I had asshole in their hand. Possibility you they man. Straight up. Man, hit that like button. Yeah, I've been trying to hit this motherfucking this damn. Hold on, let me take that Wi-Fi out. Missed him though. I've been trying to get this goddamn groundhog for 4 years, man. You know, typically they don't even come out. They don't even come out until about springtime. It's a nice day today. That bitch popped out. So from there, show y'all where it was at. Thought I was closer than that. I was way off. It was like right here. I fucking hit right here. That motherfucker was like right here. But look at the distance though. Oh, we back that bitch. Yo, but we got Boosie and Kodak. I guess Kodak finally got a chance. Yo, it's crazy, and I'm gonna get to it. So y'all remember when Kodak did that feature? Kodak did that feature with 6ix9ine. Boosie went berserk, and I don't blame him. So I'm gonna go to the video first where Boosie addressed the Kodak situation. I think it was on Vlad. So Kodak ended up getting on Boosie live. Well, not getting on there, but in the comments. Come on, he felt disrespected. Kid, what's up, baby? Kid in the building. And we got Trenches News Exposed. And this goes into what I always be telling y'all about these rats and why, for the longest time, come on, in the cage. For the longest time, they was not accepted, and how these fed agents online trick people into believing that, you know, if I ain't in the streets, I shouldn't have no problem with a rat. But Drill Time TV, salute to y'all, did a video about Trenches News and this whole, you know what I mean, little come up. You know, some of the things he was involved in before he really hit YouTube. And it aligns with everything I be telling y'all about the rats. That's not the zipper. Is this the zipper? Yes, the zipper right here I was looking for. My car zipper. Yeah, anyway, it aligns to everything I've been telling y'all about these rats. Niggas like moles, niggas like principal. They some of the worst people out. And it ain't about the streets. It's about decency as a human being. Cause in order to do what Trenches News is doing, like far as, you know, testifying on niggas and shit like that, yo, you not trying to save the world. Man, yeah, man. Shit. I don't, man. He definitely everywhere. That's why in my last couple runs, I did my last couple runs on my own. You heard me? No co-defendants, no nothing. No fronting nobody, no nothing. Everything was on me. So shit go down, everything is on me. What's up, Tane? Appreciate it. I've been cool. Yeah, I don't do that. I used to front niggas and shit like that when I was hustling. Yo, but I'm gonna tell you what stopped. What made me stop, like, putting niggas on and just doing this shit by myself. I think it was like 2015. Yo, I had like 11,000 hours on length out. And ain't getting none of it. You heard me. Niggas is getting locked up. Niggas had habits. Niggas had bills. And I ain't the type that's gonna press you over no money far as like, it's about how you do things. If you just legitimately fuck the bread up, I ain't gonna trip with you over that. I'll give you something else. But what happened was, at the end of the year, I get to counting about how much money I lost. I'm like, oh god damn. Hey, $11,000 in thought. I said, oh, never again. I can't keep doing that. So I stopped giving niggas shit. They do, y'all. And then you got some people that's all they want. Niggas don't even want to go on their own. Like I thought how I came up, yo, you only supposed to get fronted like twice, maybe two, three, maybe three times, just to get your feet in the door. Then you supposed to branch off and do your own thing and just holler at the dude that was throwing it to you. Nah, these niggas want you to front them forever. You feel me? Like niggas don't never want to get their own shit. You know, because it takes a certain level of accountability when you dealing with your own as opposed to you dealing with somebody else's money. A lot of these people rather deal with your money because now they don't gotta be accountable for their money. No, I stopped doing that shit a long time ago. I ain't fronted nobody. Well, I ain't sold drugs in, you know, nice little minute. But I ain't fronted nobody since. You heard me. But so yeah, so we got Trenches News, we got Kodak Black and Boosie, and what else is in the title? Something else is in the title. But before we get down to that, y'all remember we covered the Michigan head coach situation? And it's crazy it's not getting no press. Remember we covered the situation with the Michigan head coach where he got tricked by the white girl? Ended up crashing out, losing everything? He just had a hearing yesterday. And the most serious charges got dropped. And he ended up pleading non-contest, no contest. So we're going to check that out first. But remember when we covered that, I said, yo, that story don't sound right. Like, it don't sound like she was trying to break things off with him. And that's what caused him to flip out. I ain't no goddamn Muslim. And that's what caused him to flip out. But remember, that's not how the story was presented. The story was presented like she broke it off with him. And that would cause him to flip out. And I'm like, oh, that shit don't sound right. Like, why would he flip out? Because he breaking it off with her. That she breaking it off with him. I think that he broke the relationship off with her, and which caused her to try to extort him. You understand? Y'all remember that video? I'm like, yo, it don't make sense for that, yo. Like, he the bag, he the money. Why would he lose it all? Because she trying to walk her separate ways. No, I think it was the opposite. So let's check that out because I haven't watched the hearing. But I just wanted to get that on record just in case people remember that video. Man, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, especially if you trolling. You trolling, you gotta at least subscribe. That's the very least you can do if you're going to troll. Man, where the fuck is all y'all coming from? So, let's check out this hearing, y'all. What? That might be.
Up to 5 years in prison, stalking up to 1 year in jail, and 90 days in jail for that breaking and entering as well. And again, we should point out, this is not a preliminary exam. This is even before that process.
All right, so let's go back.
Which we know, Jerry, is this.
Let's go back.
One of the.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with my goddamn internet?
It'll make it easier for Aaron to beat me up.
Y'all remember this story, right?
Well, you came back after last night.
Man, you already know, son.
Okay. Yes. I consider it to be very pleasant. In it, such that it did not disclose the.
We're going to be streaming this entire thing live for you here on Fox Local. And again, we will be watching this courtroom and take you out there the minute we see anyone appear inside. We want to bring you inside our Fox 2 studios right now. Welcome, everyone. I'm Aaron Jordan. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And I want to bring in our legal analyst for this, attorney Jerry Mason. And Jerry is also, we should point out, a U of M booster, but Jerry's here to really kind of provide some key insight for this case. Thank you so much for being here all day today.
Good morning. It's great to be with you again, even though you are a student. Still happy to be with you.
Absolutely. I won't let that buy a show. I am pulling for them on the basketball court this weekend and as we approach the tournament. But we do want to talk about this Franks hearing, because I think people hear about a preliminary exam a lot, but maybe not necessarily
so
a
Franks hearing is basically where they review the evidence.
Jerry, so just explain what that is for us.
Sure. It's Franks versus Delaware.
That's how Big Meech got exposed and his whole situation with Tammy Collins through a Franks hearing.
The nature of the ruling is that the defendant, in this case, Mr. Franks, sought a dismissal of a case because he alleged that the warrant that brought forth the case and brought the charges was based on false or misleading evidence. And you can also extrapolate this or apply it to search warrants and things of that nature. So the allegation in the Sharon Moore case is that the swear-to that the warrant that led to the charges being brought against former University of Michigan head coach Sharon Moore had omissions in it such that it did not disclose the employer-employee relationship between...
Remember that. We covered that. Man, we talked about that and when we first covered this. Like, the warrant was faulty. And I remember, I think a judge said something about it back then. Like, they didn't or I might have just brought it up. They didn't detail, when they filed this warrant on him, they didn't detail the relationship. Y'all remember that? Who remember that video, y'all? I know we definitely discussed that part.
Him and the complaining witness, Paige Schreiber, and that there were other defects with the swear-to, which is the warrant, which necessitates a dismissal. That is the prosecutor, that's the defense's position. The prosecutor's position is that the employer-employee relationship wasn't relevant.
It was
because the unwanted contact primarily occurred after he was fired on December 10th. That relationship no longer existed.
It was relevant because they were saying that he was stalking her, and I don't think that. I think it was the opposite. It was the opposite, man. He wasn't stalking that girl. That girl tried to whitemail him when he tried to separate from her because his job was on the line. They didn't detail none of that shit in the original indictment or the original warrant.
And that, in fact, the purposes of the contact wasn't related to employment.
And certainly you bring up the December 10th, a whirlwind day that day, Jerry. Of course, he was fired. Then you get the reports of why he was fired because of that alleged extramarital relationship, the inappropriate relationship, as the university put it. Then you find out about him being arrested and detained that day. Again, the charges we should mention as well. We know third-degree home invasion, a misdemeanor for stalking, and misdemeanor breaking and entering as well in this case.
Right. In the third degree, and I was reviewing the charges this morning, third-degree home invasion means that you entered the home or broke and entered the home for the purposes of committing a misdemeanor. That's really the meat and potatoes of that statute. And so the argument is on the part of the prosecutor that the breaking and entering was really part of the stalking offense.
Yeah, and in the home invasion as well, he could face up to 5 years in prison, the stalking up to 1 year in jail, and 90 days in jail for that breaking and entering as well. And again, we should point out, this is not a preliminary exam. This is even before that process, which we know, Jerry, is this is one of the few times in a criminal case where the burden of proof is actually on the defense.
It's an interesting case, but you have to remember that a Franks hearing is granted almost automatically. As Judge Simpson himself acknowledged, that it's the floor. The granting a hearing is the floor, not the ceiling. You just have to make the allegation to get the hearing, and that's in fact what they did. Now the problem is, you have just tipped the prosecutor off that you're going to air your entire case in front of the judge and the prosecutor, which gives them a chance to double down for the preliminary exam, which is a probable cause hearing to allow the case to continue to serve the court. So you're sort of showing your hand rather early on in the case, where you might have sandbagged a little bit and waited until after the exam and maybe caught people giving untrue testimony under oath.
And that's going to be fascinating to see what happens when it comes to that, Jerry. I do want to bring up as well the fact that the standard is a preponderance of evidence. You look at a preliminary exam, that is probable cause. Explain the differences there as well.
Probable cause means probable cause that a crime was committed and that the defendant committed it. Basically, you make the allegations and identify the defendant. A preponderance of the evidence means it's more likely than not that something occurred. And so, you know, they're both very, very, very low burdens.
Yeah, and I was actually told at one point you can, by an attorney, that you can find a ham sandwich over for a crime, which was one of the more laughable statements, but it just shows how low that bar actually is.
Yeah, it's fairly easy for a probable cause, and that's, you know, it's very easy to move a case forward on a probable cause standard. You have to identify what you think the crimes were or are, and then identify the person who allegedly committed those crimes. And what that does is that prevents felonies from automatically going to circuit court trial. That gives the parties, both the prosecutor and the defense, to test their cases at the district court level. If you know you're going to try a case in circuit court, you definitely want to run an exam in district court unless you do not want to risk having additional charges brought. Because remember, if you have a preliminary exam go bad, now instead of having 3 charges, you've got 6.
And so, and let's talk a little bit about the preliminary exam. As again, we're giving you a live look inside the courtroom, where any minute now we are.
I just want to get some detail around the case. Do y'all remember we talked about all of this? I hate when I do. I hate when I ask y'all remember. Nobody see nothing. Do y'all remember we talked about that the prosecution misled the judge when they filed for the warrant? Nobody remembers that. All right. Wasn't that long ago. Fuck is the whole video at? Let's see if we can find the whole video. And Blueface a bitch. She should never even been fucking with y'all. That boy a whole clown, man. And he cool with Whack 100. So I'm starting to question if he the police too. I don't like Blueface because Blueface is a poor representation of a black man. It's like they use Blueface to make justifications of how black women treat black men. Like he justifies the disrespect by the way he move. I don't fuck with y'all at all. Like at all. Yeah, I thought I had a longer video. All right, let's start right here. JB.
Also plan on going. As a result of all of that, here we have.
Court does come to the case of the People's State of Michigan versus.
All right.
Court does come to the case of the People's State of Michigan versus Jerome Moore.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Katie University for the people. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Helen Michaels on behalf of Jerome Moore, who's present in court. State your name.
Jerome Moore. Thank you.
Christine P. Jacobs on behalf of Jerome Moore.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. All right. So date and time set for Frank's hearing, things have changed. And even before you go on, I just want to express the court's appreciation for their hard work of counsel.
Remember, hey, JB, I know you was there. This Sharon Moore, the Michigan football head coach. Remember we was saying, do you remember when we was saying that narrative don't make sense? The prosecution was running with a theory that she tried to break up with him, and that's what caused all of this. And I was like, that don't make sense. Why would all this be caused because she tried to break up with him? It sounded like he tried to break up with her, and she tried to extort him, and she went to the school and she did all the things that she did. Yeah, hell yeah. So a lot of the major counts got thrown out, and he pled guilty, or he played non-contest to the lesser charges. They misled the judge when they filed for the warrant to arrest him. They never included, man, we talked about all this. They never included the relationship between him and the girl. It made it just seem like he was just this stranger trying to break into a house and do all these crazy things to her.
People that were waiting to see something, but your efforts were greatly appreciated. Ms. Richardson.
Your Honor, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to address the court. First, allow me to apologize to the court and counsel. I was needed unexpectedly elsewhere in another county on a special prosecutor case this morning that went perhaps a little bit longer than expected, and then as life unfolds, I was rear-ended in a gas station parking lot. Everybody is fine, but I really appreciate everyone's patience, and it was not intentional. Thank you.
Yeah, right,
Judge,
right. Now you remember, they made it sound like he just was crazy, like they didn't have a history, like they didn't have a relationship. Remember, we talked about all of that. I'm like, oh, they dirty as a motherfucker for that.
It's fired, and where we have arrived. This case, as is true with many cases, Your Honor, is alive and sort of moving and breathing. Investigation has been ongoing. An exchange of information has also been ongoing. As a result of all of that, where we have arrived, based on what we now know, is that we feel the most appropriate charges to address the defendant's behavior on December 10th of 2025 are two additional counts, counts 4 and 5. We would be seeking to add a count of what we call malicious use of a telecommunications device in the context of a domestic relationship, and then an additional count of trespass. Those are, as Your Honor is aware, misdemeanor matters. Your Honor, we have arrived at that as indicated based on a thorough review of the additional evolved evidence and investigation, as well as after consultation with, and pursuant to our obligation, the Crime Victim Rights Act, consultation with the victim, largely through her representatives in this matter. Your Honor, one comment I would like to make specifically about the additional count of malicious use of a telecommunications device in the context of a domestic relationship, as this court is aware.
Yo, she said she was rear-ended, man, right before court started. Yeah, she had a rough morning, man. We gotta give her a pass, man.
I would like to be clear
Damn
on the
good.
record because of, I know docket.
She had a rough morning, man.
Purposes. Your Honor, we did not at the time of issuing initial charges in this matter, nor do we believe now, after additional evidence has been presented to us, do not believe that there is sufficient evidence to prove a count of domestic violence in this matter, not historically and not what happened on December 10th. So we are obligated, as this court is well aware, legally and ethically and morally, to not charge that which we do not think we can prove. What we do believe the evidence supports is criminal misbehavior in the context of an intimate partner relationship, and that is why that tag-on is on the malicious use charge. Your Honor, it is my understanding that pursuant to adding those counts, that there will be a plea as a result of that, but I leave that to counsel.
All right. Did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much. I'd like the record to be clear that the negotiated disposition involves a dismissal of the 3 charges that had been charged. That was not mentioned in the recitation by the prosecutor's office.
That is absolutely correct. The end result of where we land by adding on the counts is that my best understanding is that the defendant will enter a plea to those additional counts, and in exchange for that, we will absolutely dismiss the originally charged 3 counts.
And that would be an entering of a no contest plea to count 4 and count 5 with the dismissal of count 1, 2.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
The court does have before it a plea agreement form that indicates that the defendant will be pleading no contest to the charge of malicious use of a telecommunications device with domestic relationship tag. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months incarceration. He will also be pleading no contest to the charge of trespass, which is a 30-day misdemeanor. Upon his successful no contest plea to those charges, counts 1, 2, and 3 will be dismissed. That is the court's full understanding of the agreement. There is, however, one other thing that should be mentioned, and that is with reference to sentencing. The court is going to be given full authority, if the court deems it necessary after a review, to sentence under a deferred program. That is the court's understanding.
That is also correct. That is correct.
All right, very good. Mr. Moore and counsel, if you could approach the podium, please. Okay, gotcha. And if I may have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear in front of the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Raise your name.
Mr. Moore,
I think he's gonna get some probation.
it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges. The first charge is the added count 4 of malicious use of a telecommunications device involving a domestic relationship. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months incarceration and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And also the added count 5 of trespass. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 30 days in jail and or a fine not to exceed $250. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right, 2 things about a no contest plea I have to make sure that you understand. First thing is that it first of all means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest these 2 charges. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court is going to treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea, counsel.
The basis for the no contest plea is civil liability,
Potential civil liability. All right, very good.
civil litigation.
Got it. Sworn to the charge of, let's do it this way. To the charge of malicious use of a telecommunications device, how do you plead?
No contest.
To the charge of trespass, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
I don't think he has executed any vice and rights form, has he? I think he did, actually. I don't have
I believe he did.
it. And at arraignment, do you recall that, sir?
Not off the top of my head, sir.
Pardon?
Not
The
off
advice
the
and
top
rights.
of my head.
I have one that I printed up just so we can continue. I did go over the advice of rights form with my client yesterday. So him signing it now is acknowledging that he did review it yesterday.
All right. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll let you sign that.
Yeah, I wanna go. This is not what I'm looking for.
Department of Public Safety report for their case number 25-25629. Counsel, any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No objection. No objection.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of these 2 offenses. Sir, I do have to advise you, between the time of my acceptance of your plea and the time of sentencing, if you commit any misconduct as defined under the Michigan court rules, you would first of all not be entitled to withdraw your plea. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And also, the court would not be bound by any sentence evaluation or recommendation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is counsel aware of any threat, promises, threats, or other inducements which have led to this plea?
There are. No, Your Honor.
And has the court complied with the court rule, and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Court has. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's no contest plea to counts 4 and 5. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are hereby ordered dismissed. A pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered.
Oh, so I ain't getting
Sentencing
no.
in this matter.
I ain't get time yet.
Will April 13th work for the parties? I have April 13th or April 20th at 11 a.m.
He probably gonna get some probation, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this, y'all. I'm looking for the part where they discuss that the prosecution lied to secure a warrant. That's what I'm looking for. A judge dismissed the felony stalking charges against Sharon Moore after evidence showed the magistrate was not given critical information when the arrest warrant was issued. The court found that the detective and the prosecutors withheld key details about the nature of the relationship between Moore and his executive assistant, who the court determined was not a victim. Because that information was not disclosed to the magistrate, the court ruled the arrest was unlawful, leading to the dismissal of the charge. I'm trying to find where they discuss that. Sharon Moore, Michigan. Remember Stephen A. Smith went off on a nigga. So this was 2 months ago when we covered this. Let's see if they discuss it on here. Yeah, you right. You ain't lying, y'all. Baseball lifestyle.
With breaking news in the case against former U of M.
He definitely already lost it all. He definitely already lost it all. That shit crazy.
Sharon Moore, his defense team, agreeing to take a plea deal. Good evening, everybody. I'm Rup Raj. Moore has pleaded no contest to 2 new counts. In exchange, 3 other charges will be dropped. Let's get live to Fox News' Scott Wolchuk. He's in our newsroom with the details of what happened in court today. Scott.
Hey, Rup. Yeah, you know what? This was a really interesting case. Originally, it was supposed to be an evidence hearing. Quickly, all of us in the courtroom kind of figured out something was going on behind the scenes because the attorneys, as well as Moore, had been in the other courtroom talking and hashing something out all day. Eventually, around 2:30 in the afternoon, that's when they all came in and we found out about this plea deal. So what this deal does, it removes those original 3 charges that Moore had originally been facing, and the big one there is that felony breaking and entering charge. That one is dropped. Instead, he pled to 2 different misdemeanors. One is malicious use of a telecommunications device in the context of a domestic relationship. Now, that could carry up to 6 months in jail. The other one that he pled no contest to is going to have to be a trespassing charge, which is up to 30 days in jail. So he pled no contest to both of those charges in a deal. That means that his previous ones, those ones.
Matter, nor do we believe now, after additional evidence has been presented to us, do not believe that there is sufficient evidence to prove a count of domestic violence in this matter, not historically and not what happened on December 10th. So we are obligated, as this court is well aware, legally and ethically and morally to not charge that which we do not think we can prove. What we do believe the evidence supports is criminal misbehavior in the context of an intimate partner relationship.
From the beginning, we maintain that the felony stalking charge and the entering without permission charge, all the charges against Mr. Moore, were not supported by facts and law. After the court granted our motion for a Frank's hearing and the omissions and the detective's affidavit were examined, those charges have been dismissed. The dismissal of those charges validates the concerns we raised about the investigation from the very beginning. Mr. Moore is pleased to put this behind him and move
That's
forward.
what I'm looking for.
Thank you.
What the fuck? What the hell going on
More
outside?
sentencing is set for April 14th. Live in the newsroom, Scott Wolchuk, Fox 2 News. Rup.
I'm looking for that, yo. I'm looking for when they discuss that. Maybe it's the video. That's what I want to hear. Your detective should be held liable for this. See, this is why they're able to get away with lying. Yo, nobody is held responsible. Like, yo, these people can literally.
We are expecting
they can literally
Moore to come into the courtroom with his attorneys. with the prosecutor.
Yo, they are literally allowed to lie, make up shit, fabricate, and don't get in trouble for it. Like, this will never stop until there's some accountability that's placed on these detectives. You understand? Or these prosecutors. Yo, they're allowed to lie in paperwork and don't face no repercussions. No repercussions for it, y'all. Like, it gotta stop one day, man. It gotta stop one day. Look at all the lies told in Dirt case. All the lies told. Like, in Dirt case, they literally got an indictment based off of lyrics that was written, what, was it a year before the murder? They used video of an edit that Dirk didn't put together and said, look, this is him confessing to the murder. And they able to just say, all right, fuck that indictment. We just going to file another one and don't use this. Like, that's egregious, man. That's egregious work. And nobody ever gets held accountable for what they do. Especially the federal government. Now, this is a state case. But I told y'all how the state did me. You know, where they allowed a person to plead guilty to a crime that it was humanly impossible for this person to do based off of evidence. But nobody gets in trouble. They just sweep it under the rug and they just keep moving forward. That's why I call this the barter system. It's not the justice system, man. There's no justice. It's very few justice or very little justice that goes on in this system.
We've seen some cases where defendants will waive their preliminary exam. Not sure that's necessarily going to happen in this case, but like, what would be the rationale for waiving that hearing?
If your client's been truthful, and that's a big problem.
Yo, this case didn't even make it to the preliminary. Preliminary is supposed to be your first actual court date. This case was so flawed, it didn't even make it to the preliminary stages.
Defense attorneys have. Our clients don't tell us the truth. But if your client has been truthful and discloses everything that went on, and you realize that if that comes out on the record, you could have very serious charges brought. Criminal sexual conduct first degree, which is a life offense, for example, or multiple criminal sexual conduct charges, you're going to waive that exam fast. You want to get that case up to circuit court and try it if you have to, but try to work something out with the prosecutor.
Motherfuckers don't be waiving their preliminary. What happens is the prosecution indicts you. Once you get indicted, you skip your preliminary and go straight to your arraignment. Motherfuckers don't be waiving that. Why would you waive your preliminary hand?
Because they all, we were always taught that a bad settlement was better than a good trial. So if he's been truthful with his attorney, and I'm assuming that he has, his attorney is a very, very experienced criminal attorney. I think that's all she does is criminal law. And if he's told her the truth of everything that's gone on between these two, that will be a strategic decision they will have to make. Is there the potential for additional charges to be brought? If not, they may want to run the exam, enforce it. But you've got a whole other problem here, Aaron, and we should talk about this.
Okay.
It's the optics of this case. It is how this appears from just a PR perspective. Because at the end of the day, Sharon Moore wants to get a job coaching. And the more this drags out in the public...
He's done coaching. He ain't got to worry about that shit. Like my man said, he might get coach Friday Night Tights. You feel me? But he's done. And that's what was so egregious about this whole process, this whole situation. Like, you had a black college head coach for a prominent football team, and he allowed this fucking white girl to take him down, which ultimately is going to fuck up the next chance, the next opportunity for a black head coach, for it to be a black college head coach of a prominent team. That's the most crucial part about all of this. It ain't even about him per se. It's about the future of black men coaching five-star or not five-star, but major college institutions. They looking for an excuse. always. And he gave him an excuse for who knows how many years.
The longer it goes on, a NFL team owner Googles him, and what do they find? They find us on Fox 2 News talking about his case. They got mugshots of him. They've got pictures of him sitting in court with the long face. That is not what you want potential employers to be looking at.
He did. He fucked us
want
over,
to have good employment.
So in that case, do you think there's a chance that the attorney advises him to take a plea deal just to be able to move on with his life?
I think that it would be prudent if I were advising him, if I were his attorney, to get out with a misdemeanor, maybe a misdemeanor under advisement, mental health treatment, get rid of the felony, get out of the limelight, seek the appropriate help and counseling, because he's eligible for an expungement down the road.
Well, we will definitely have to pick up this conversation. We are going to take a 1-minute break as we are keeping an eye on the courtroom right now. Stay with us. You're watching Fox Local.
He fucked the money up, man. That's the most messed up part about all of it.
Continue his coaching career at this point.
There's a difference between having a bad day, a bad experience, and having some problems that played out over December 10th, and a lifestyle and a pattern of this kind of behavior. And he has an opportunity to end this matter, regain some dignity and trust if he handles it appropriately. And by dragging this case out, you could win the battle but lose the war because you've so damaged your brand. That's the problem.
And you look at, again, and we should point out that you are a U of M booster, but were there any, I have to ask this question, were there any signs of this before it happened? What was the reaction within the program once that firing went down?
Well, let me just, in the interest of disclosure, I know
he'll never be a college head coach again. He might be a coordinator, of Eastern Missouri, or you fucking shit, Marshall or something, but not Michigan, not Alabama, not Georgia. Not none of them. He might go to Jackson State. Like, he fucked this off, man.
Okay. And he did call me about a week or so ago, and I disclosed to him, I said, look, I'm a Fox 2 News guy. I said, so you can't discuss your case with me, number one. Do not disclose any confidences. And number two, I have a rule. I do not second-guess attorneys when I don't have all the evidence. We haven't seen the body cam footage. We haven't seen the police report. And so I disclosed that to him. I thanked him for the kindness that he had shown my son, who worked for football for 5 years, and for me. I wished him the best. I gave him some concern. I heard he was only 17, so Dad.
I want them to go over the lies. They probably not even want to go over the lies told.
So allegations that Pearson and Bancroft mistreated women who worked within the program as well.
I would disagree with that. Mel Pearson's got a daughter. He is a prince and nothing but kind to women. I think that Bancroft was always accused of being cranky. I knew him and liked him, but my dad was a machine shop foreman and was scary anyway, so there was nothing you could possibly do to offend me. That was the way Ricky Bancroft was.
But from an optics standpoint, you mentioned optics a little bit ago. Doesn't that say that there are issues in the athletic department, even if it's only from an optics standpoint?
I don't think so, because you have to remember sports is a male testosterone-driven entity when it's men's sports. And it doesn't mean that those people are mean, abusive.
Man, they're not even covering it. See, this is the thing. This is what they do, man. Why y'all not talking about the pivotal shit? They lied. It's like, yo, they do these things. They slander you in public and then make the apology quiet. No, man. Cover the lies. What up? All right, here we go. This is what I'm looking for right here. Same what I'm looking for, y'all. Evidence under review.
I mean, we're starting at 11, so yeah.
Here we go. This
no
one
matter
I'm
what,
looking
we're
for right
starting at
here.
11.
It's the same hearing.
Studios right now. Welcome, everyone. I'm Aaron Jordan. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
That's the title. Look, this is the title, but they don't discuss the review of the evidence.
Our legal analyst for this, attorney Jerry Mason, and Jerry is also, we should point out, a U of M booster, but Jerry's here to really kind of provide some key insight for this case. Thank you so much for being here all day today.
Good morning. It's great to be with you again, even though you are a still happy to be here.
Absolutely. I won't let that buy a show. I am pulling for them on the basketball court this weekend and as we approach the tournament. But we do want to talk about this Franks hearing because I think people hear about a preliminary exam a lot, but maybe not necessarily a Franks hearing here, Jerry. So just explain what that is for us.
Sure.
Yo, he never even got specific about the evidence that was at question. See, this be that bullshit, man. I don't like this type of coverage.
Franks versus Delaware. It's a Supreme Court ruling. The nature of...
Yeah, they never got specific. I showed y'all what it is, but I want them to talk about it.
Cases since then, and so they've got to go back and refresh their memory.
Well, let's be honest. Memories fade. Deputies inside a courtroom where a hearing is about to start wouldn't be unusual either. Is there
witnesses there ready to go? Because if the witnesses aren't there, that means,
in a sense, this sort of would allow everybody to move on with their lives in this situation.
Getting literally live up to the minute updates on what's happening. And
yeah, and as our streaming executive producer Jay Dillon has said, this is us watching the proceedings and
criticize her for the PR aspect of the case, but there might be a method to her madness. It's more work, and you're back on track to have a trial. So why not try to push the envelope a little bit and see if you can force the prosecutor to sweeten the pot?
Absolutely, and it's there's definitely in any trial for sure a lot of like strategy and that sort of deal involved in it. But it's just fascinating to hear that perspective from you, Jerry, that they're possibly using this hearing in a sense as a bargaining chip.
It's a bargaining chip. It's a dangerous bargaining chip. You know, you're playing with fire. Mm-hmm. But he does have an experienced criminal defense attorney. She knows what she's doing. And because we don't know what the prosecutor was or was not offering, it's easy to criticize her for the PR aspect of the case, but there might be a method to her madness.
And we should point out again that Moore is in the courtroom next to the room that the hearing is scheduled to be held in that you are taking a live look at right now. The judge is meeting with lawyers in this case. So, and obviously multiple things could be happening here, Jerry. We need to keep bringing that fact up. But certainly a fascinating development as you mentioned before, and I'm getting as we're just checking a text from our crew inside the courtroom as we speak right now, Jerry. And
all right, I found the article.
There's so much that could be at play right now, and I do quickly want to mention another case that we are following, the D. Warner.
I found the article, I think. I hate when they do this, man. This is media manipulation. This is how they do, man. They slander you in public and then want to apologize privately. I don't like that. The apologies need to be as loud as the slander. All right. Moore appeared in court Tuesday afternoon after his attorney argued that the context of his relationship with his former staff, who allegedly had an affair with, was never properly divulged by the prosecution. After hearing both sides, Judge Cedric Simpson ruled on the side of the defense for a new evidentiary hearing. The court will grant the motion for evidentiary hearing in this case, he said, adding the court never got a full picture of the relationship between Moore and the woman. I think the falsity really comes in the way it was presented. It is at worst false and an outright lie, or at best, it is misleading. The evidentiary hearing has been scheduled for March 2nd. The judge said Moore's due process rights may have been violated with messages that were omitted by the prosecution. The court said that the magistrate was not previously told that there was a prior employee-employer relationship with Moore and the woman. Stalking was the pretense for the home invasion charge, according to the court. It is clearly and unequivocally that the relationship between the parties in the stalking allegation matter, said Michaels in her opening statement. It's not stalking if communication has a legitimate purpose. The prosecution argued that a probable cause meeting would clear up information that was omitted. You don't ever want to endorse hiding the ball. You know, that's not who we are, she said. That's not what the system is. That is exactly what the system is. What's up, Major Baby? That's not what the system should be. That's not what we stand for. Clearly, the court is taken with that. Michael said Moore was never told not to contact the staffer he allegedly had a romantic relationship with, adding there were 12 alleged phone calls over a 2-day time span of December 8th through the 10th, which were on a work day and text message, with the first 3 work-related. There were also claims that the detective provided false information from the civil attorney who represented the former staffer. When Shamar Moore first went to the staffer's apartment, she called her attorney, Heidi Sharp, who then made the 911 call and gave information she did not experience firsthand. The staffer was interviewed 3 times by police about the incident, and the complaint's info conflicted with what the attorney told the detectives. Judge Simpson replied that he did not mean the detective gave false testimony. It just means that there was information that was omitted. The Stafford civil attorney, Sharp, said that Moore has a long history of domestic violence against the staffer, while never divulging the employee-employer relationship, and that's very important. The staffer herself never made those claims. She never gave that information. There is no record of any of that, Michael said. There is no documentation of that. There is no criminal history. There is no support. That statement is made by Heidi Sharp for 3 interviews. Those comments were reckless and false. Michaels later qualified it as a reckless disregard is more accurate, the attorney said. It's not that it's false. She may have provided an inaccurate context to everything going on by omitting certain things, the judge said. She told him she had nothing more to say to him. The prosecution counted with the range of December 8th to the 10th that there was sufficient evidence of aggravated stalking when there was more reason for contact because he was no longer employed. When the defendant was fired, and what we know, according to the complaint, he called her 2 times after that. She said she didn't answer. He showed up at her apartment, barged his way in, grabbed the implements that he did. She felt utterly terrorized at that moment. He threatened to kill himself, pointed the implements, which was a butter knife, at her back to further into her apartment. What? He pointed the implements at her back to further into her apartment. Eventually left when she got her lawyer on the speakerphone. And even after she left, then called her attorney as a witness. On body cam, he called her yet again and sent her 2 more texts. I hate you, and my blood is in your hands. The prosecution claimed Moore has a history of threatening self-harm to exert control over the victim and has a propensity to use knives to do that. The judge brought up a text message from the staffer attorney December 10th outside the date range which was admitted. She lays out in great detail, he said, that I have a problem with because that it seems to me if I were the magistrate, I'm getting half the story. I'm not getting the full story. This is what the judge is saying. It might be one thing if what was testified to had been, well, these 10 that after the call, these 10 that after the call on the 8th, there were other messages that were said they were work-related. I find it a problem when the court isn't given all the information for the court to make a proper determination of probable cause. I really have a problem with that because, quite frankly, I think that the defendant's due process rights as well as the right of the people to be able to proceed with a validly sworn out complaint. So they lied, man. They lied. They lied. They didn't give full context. And if y'all, what's up, Major? I mean, what's up, Sharice? Survive 2025. If y'all remember, we talked about that. We talked about that when it first happened. Like, you can't file a warrant on this person, on yo, without, and say he was stalking the girl without detailing that there was a relationship. They never said it was a relationship. They made it seem like she just was a random woman and he was stalking her. They never got into detail about the work employed. They never talked about none of that. That was dirty by the prosecution, but this is what they always do. It's not a one-off. That's why I like highlighting these cases so people can understand, like, this is what they do. So before you praise this system and think they get it right all the time, yo, you're wrong. You're wrong. And this goes into why I say I do not like when they convict people based off circumstantial evidence. You know how many times you're going to get it wrong based off of circumstantial evidence? You're going to get it wrong, man. Because you don't have nothing concrete. Like, they shouldn't be able to even convict off of circumstantial evidence. Hard mode. Shit bogus. They said the arrest warrant was issued based on false and misleading statements presented as fact. That's all I was looking for. All right, so Trenches News. Now, y'all know how we always talk about the rat, the street rat, and how somehow, some way, they was able to convince people that it's okay, You can support a rat. You know, you're not in the streets. Why you care? You feel me? Like, they really convince people that, yo, these rats, these street rats, is acceptable. But I've been telling people for the longest time, yo, ratting, or the street rat, it's characteristics that make up a street rat. They're not honorable. They lie. They steal. They're the type that shooting in crowds. They're the type that rob old folks. Like, these are, for the most part, the street rats. You know, they don't have any morals. They don't have any integrity. They the homeboy or homegirl or homeboy that if you go to jail, they be trying to fuck with your girl. You know what I mean? They be talking shit to you, to other people about you. Like, these are the rats. And I've been trying to explain to people why these guys don't deserve respect. Like Woody. If you look at some of the things Woody did that he said he did in his history, it lines up with him being a rat. The fact that he was telling on them boys, lying on them boys, but in the same breath, when he get locked up, he calling up town saying, yo, can y'all bail me out? People don't understand how dangerous that is. You mean to tell me you can tell on me behind my back and then ask me for money and don't feel bad, don't feel guilty? That's a dangerous person, man. Now, Trenches News then convinced people that he told on O-Block because he did it for Duck. Yo, but snitching is a selfish act. To be a rat, think about this, y'all. You can get your family killed. You understand? You can get somebody innocent murdered because you can't take your case. You can get somebody innocent kidnapped because you can't take your case. Because you don't want to go to jail for things that you did. Yo, that is selfish as a motherfucker. Y'all remember Terrence Williams said that if his kids was to get kidnapped based off of what he was doing in the streets, and they called him about a ransom, he said, I'll hang up the phone. He said that. Queso father or uncle, whatever you want to call him, participated in that crime and then told on his son. Yo, these are not people that deserve support at all. Because you wouldn't want to befriend them in real life. That's the thing that be getting me. Like, people think these guys are funny and they laugh at him and they subscribe to him and they send him cash at. But based off of his man history and how this person moved, you wouldn't want him to be your friend in real life. Because it ain't about the streets. It ain't about, I'm not committing no crimes. No, this would be the same person trying to fuck your girl behind your back. Or if you out here doing whatever you doing, this would be the motherfucker that tell your girl, man, you know he cheating on you. You know he be doing this. Fuck up everything. So, I've been explaining that to people for the longest time because I need people to understand that, because right now, we have been infiltrated by rats. We've been infiltrated. They're being promoted. They're being paid. They're being interviewed. And I think the only reason they're gaining this support is because people don't understand what a snitch is. It's not about the streets. They lack morals. They lack principles. They lack integrity. They lack honor. They lack dignity. And they selfish. A person you wouldn't want nowhere near you in real life. So why you support them on the internet? Trenches News has been lying on dirt for the longest time. Lying. He did a whole video talking about in the paperwork, it mentioned FBG cash murder. Somebody gonna get arrested for that real soon. It's in the paperwork. They saying Dirk did it. Yo, it's not in no paperwork. He made it up. And what kind of person can just make up something like that? CSI Study Nash made up the Gucci Man story. CSI Study Nash came to the internet and told y'all that BG got arrested and he facing 6 to 10 years and he got caught with booger sugar. And the crazy thing about it, right? He was referencing cocaine. But BG used dope. So you got a guy who supposed to be a crip, supposed to be from the streets. He don't even understand the difference between coke and heroin. He don't even understand the difference. But Drill Time TV did an interview. Did a video on Trenches News and exposed exactly what I've been telling y'all about what a snitch is. Look at some of the things that was around Trenches News' name. I don't know, y'all. You gotta ask the people that named it that.
Also been ongoing.
Hit that like button, share it live, man. You see you playing games, we need to have more people on here.
As a result of all of that, where we have arrived, based on what we now know, is that we feel the most appropriate charges to address the defendant's behavior on December 10th of 2025 are 2 additional counts, counts 4 and 5. We would be seeking to add a count of what we call malicious use of a telecommunications device in the context of a domestic relationship, and an additional count of trespass. Those are, as Your Honor is aware, misdemeanor matters. Your Honor, we have arrived at that as indicated based on a thorough review of the additional evolved evidence and investigation, as well as after consultation with, pursuant to our obligation, the Crime Victim Rights Act, consultation with the victim.
Now look at this. I ain't watched the whole video, girl. You know, I be wanting to watch it.
Talk about snakes? Well, we know snake, we know. But y'all knew that. You know. I ain't really have to say that.
I'm just letting you know how it is. It's kill time.
To protect the community, man, and nobody is living by them rules. They mad at Trenches News, but they ain't living by the rules.
Now I told y'all, he is not trying to protect the community. Snitches don't do things for other people. When they move how they move, they're doing that within the best interest of themselves. Cause you tell it. Because if you did it for other people, yo, this can put your family life in danger. The people closest to you. Being a street rat can put your family life in danger. So you can't say you're doing it for other people. Because you're not even thinking about the people that's closest to you. So you damn sure ain't thinking about the community.
Rules, man, protect the women and kids. They ain't living by the rules, man. Protect the women and kids. They ain't living by the rules, man. Protect the women and kids.
Protect the women and children. Yeah, okay. Man, check this shit out. We got Mr. Oops upside the head on the bitch. Damn, they got a registry for niggas like him. Chill out.
Well, I said a lot of snitches beat on women too. Y'all remember I said that? Who remember me saying a lot of snitches beat on women too? Look his whole history. 2014, 2015.
Oh, why this motherfucker got an aggravated
2015, 2016.
Members in the building. And gang said swipe the type that'll sit on the steal from her and the kids. You can't make this shit up. I said, man, you mean to tell me stealing from the kids too, gang? They said phone him a thief, liar, and a motherfucking caller. You'd never see him in the pictures with the hustlers because the hustle wasn't in him. He couldn't flip a pack to save his life. Meanwhile, that oxycodone scratch giving him belt to ass. But for real though, listen to the things people say and hold them accountable. That's all I'm asking. Shout out No Jumper. They asked this man what he do 4 years in prison for. Remember in 2016, he caught that aggravated I was asking y'all about.
Yeah, okay, so when did you end up doing the 4 years in prison?
2016.
Oh, okay, so that was more recently.
Yeah.
What? I know we're kind of going out of order, but what happened in that situation?
It was a battery. It was a person who mistreated me when I was shot. When I was shot the second time in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair, bitch mistreated me, you know. And then when I got strong enough, you know, the what's the name? You know, I got her back, you know.
See, that's how you know you're goofy. Hit that like button. The only thing he ever been in jail for was putting his hands on a female. But whole time, this nigga on YouTube talking about
Protect the women and kids.
and they squalled 4 years out his ass. But whatever he seen in that motherfucker, it must have fucked him up. And he ain't trying to go back, so he out here telling on whatever he got to tell on to stay free. I can see the comments now. Dude supporters being there like drill. We see what you're saying, man. But we forgive him, man. My pops used to smack my moms up too. But that doesn't make him a bad person. Boy, them motherfuckers weird. Look here, man, it ain't never okay for a man to use your mama as a punching bag. But if that's the case, I'm sorry you had to go through that there. But can you imagine a nigga going upside your mama head and still finding the time to take from you? I'm talking about you as a kid.
Yeah, I stayed in the O for like 3-4 years with my
Look.
sister and shit. She was
So he
fucking
beating
with
on women, stealing from children. That's what I be meaning by, yo, you can peep a rat way before they tell. You can peep if it's a snitch around you way before they tell if you just watch how they move. Look at the things they involved in. Look at what they do. Look at what they say. Look at what they lie about.
the time too though, so like he stayed in the same crib with us, you know.
Trenches?
Yeah.
The Trenches was living in O Block with y'all,
Yeah.
well, not with y'all, but...
Yeah, he was staying in the same crib with us.
Oh, word. And around what year is this?
I want to say this shit was like from like 07 to like 10 type shit. So I was just there because my sister was there, but I wasn't really like hang with none of them shit though. But I used to fuck with Trenches then because he stayed with us though, you feel me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you personally, yeah.
Yeah, like I know him, you feel me?
You ain't know he was a snitch though at the
Nah, I
time.
ain't know he was no snitch though. All I know, the nigga used to like steal from himself and shit like that, like play a lot of mind games, steal from my sister, steal from my nephew, shit like that, yeah. He used to do that type of shit.
Oh, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, he a fuck boy on bro. He a fuck boy. Yeah, he did a lot of foul shit, like took from his brother, took from himself, all type of shit.
Like, the effect of Trenches News is that a lot of people are going to be a lot more careful with who they trust and who they like will share information with, and a lot of people just kind of like understand how this whole snitching thing could work and how anybody who you've had conversations with, who you're around on a regular basis, could also be doing that shit. Would not have really.
Yeah, no facts.
A lot of people probably wouldn't have ever thought about that shit without somebody like him kind of making it obvious to them.
They got $1 million grant, man, that they finna start passing out for people to tell that people got guns, man. What I wanna tell you is, watch out for your motherfucking homies. So all you motherfuckers out there in the trenches who been stunting on your homies with that PPP money and all that money that you got, and your homie that's fucked up, you better watch his ass now.
Shout out No Jumper. I'm pretty sure THF Bella knew at one point the conversation was gonna segue into Trenches News because of their past history. And when it did, Bella had the most valuable receipts that one could produce. He brought the brother-in-law with him, giving us a timeline when Trenches News stayed in O Block because he stayed with his sister. And the dates is corresponding with what Trenches News said on the stand. Bro-in-law stated this man used to steal from the woman that provided a roof over his head and her child. And the O-Block guys used to front him work, but he'd fuck up the packs every time. So they got on his ass. That's why he can explain the inner workings of O-Block in the earlier days, because he was a part of it. Trenches News got on the stand and told them folks that O-Block shot him for no reason. But really, he was over there fucking up their money and their packs. So they put fire to his ass and ran him up out of there. And that's the real reason he wanted to take O-Block down.
Y'all remember I said that? Who remember I said, yo, he got rolled for O-Block, man. Motherfucker shot his ass. That's why he snitching on that's why he snitched on O-Block. It wasn't about no goddamn Duck. Oh man, I ain't like how they did Duck, man. You know, Brick was my homie, man. No, you did that shit because you had a vendetta against them boys because they rolled your bitch ass out. That's what the fuck it was. You ain't do that shit for nobody else. No Mama Duck. Oh, man, I'm doing this for Mama Duck, man. She deserves justice. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. That shit to somebody that don't know no better.
so bad. Bro, Philly bogus because he introduced them to the world on this platform, and now he want to come out as a rat and shit. You never know. That could have placed his life in danger.
Like when the news hit, I'm at my OG crib. He there with me. I'm eating my food. He showed me the shit that he, like the nigga in the paper. I lost my whole appetite. Like, damn.
Really?
Like, wow. Because, you know, he had us all on this platform, promoting my music, all type of shit. Yeah. When they ran his ass up out of old block, that was his like way to get back on them niggas. That's the way I see it, because I was there to witness that shit. Like,
who ran him out? You saw this?
Yeah, like I said, he was down there like fucking shit up, you know? Not like, you know, like fucking up packs and shit. They ran him up out that motherfucker, you feel me? So the way I see it, like that was just his get back to, to go against them because of that situation.
He told the judge they put fire on his ass. Ew. Hot coffee. Took him up top and rocked his snot box. Sent his ass to get patched up like an inner tube. You can't make this shit up, gang. That's when he ran his goofy ass over there with Duck now. Over there in O Block, he was just another nigga in the way. So basically, he just flip-flopped and traded teams, you know what I'm saying? Do your homework on swipers slipping in and out of both teams when it's beneficial and marketing that information to the feds.
Yeah, but he a master manipulator, though. That's what it is, for sure. He a master manipulator, because I've seen him manipulate a lot of motherfuckers. He got a lot of people thinking that it's okay for what he did, you know?
Yeah.
But despite the cultural stigma against it, a whopping 1 in 12 black men in poor neighborhoods is an active informant.
You damn right, Mr. Policeman. I saw the whole thing.
That means every party, every cookout,
Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe if you're new.
every wedding,
Share it around.
probably has someone secretly working as an informant.
So at least 150 people on here.
Taking a stand and taking everybody else.
Y'all was supposed to stop it.
Did you do your homework, Trenches News, telling on everybody? They hit different.
It do hit different when he's saying he was snatched up for murder and come to find out he been out for sale and been a motherfucking CI since Duck was 12 years old, gang. So boom, they dog walked him and ran him out of old block. Now he resurfaced over there on 63rd homeless, sleeping wherever he could. And at this time, he full-fledged informant. He over there trying to make something shake. Now he gathering intel on the other side. So if any of the guys around that way watching this and remember getting knocked down like dominoes out the blue, oh yeah, phone got down on him. He got sorted at FBG Young because he exposed him for stealing it.
That's lace type one.
And being an old flunky. And he told the world.
It's another thing I always talk about. You know, be careful. If you're a young boy, yo, be careful about the old head that want to hang around. You gotta watch those guys, man. You gotta watch the old head that's hanging around young boys. I'm trying to tell you, it'll save your life. Now he the oldest one there. He hanging with motherfucking Duck and them. But he 10 years older than them boys. So I know their mom. I know their daddy. Then what the fuck you hanging with the kids for, bro? You know why? Because the people his age know about him. He able to hang with the young boys because he can tell the young boys the old stories, you know? And he can implicate himself in situations that he probably ain't had nothing to do with. He wouldn't be able to do that with his own age range. Because niggas know you. Niggas know you're a fuck boy. That's why, for the young boys, stay away from them old heads still trying to hang, man. I'm telling you. There might be some stories about him you don't know.
This man was sleeping on his hardwood floor. You can't make this shit up, gang. Once again, Trenches News feelings was hurt. Being 10 to 15 years, these guys senior, he couldn't manage to fit in anywhere. He tried to join in on a...
What the fuck is you... Look at this picture, y'all. What is this, y'all?
Feelings was hurt. Being 10 to 15 years, these guys...
Yo, look at this, y'all. What is this? Yo, he a grown-ass man. This little kid, like, he about 13. All these are kids. He's a grown-ass man hanging with the kids, man. It's a recipe for disaster. Because know what he'll do? He get locked up, he gonna send one of them over every fucking time. Every time.
Senior, he couldn't manage to fit in anywhere. He tried to join in on the opposite team against O-Block, but the little guy sent him off for store runs. Nobody seemed to have any respect for him. So he would make it his business to infiltrate the Flyboy gang and destroy them like he did O-Block.
Stop listening to Flyboy gang, please. If you love Duck, if you love Content Weekly, also known as Duck, if you love Brick, do not listen to Clout Boys FBG music no more.
Look, they out there shooting dice. He got the camera out. He's probably setting them boys up too, just in case. Insurance, you know, if I ever go down, you feel me? Whoever get, it don't matter. See, this is the thing, y'all. When I keep telling y'all about these rats, yo, snitches don't have picks. O-Block just happened to be the victim, but he'd have made 63rd the victim too if the opportunity presented itself. They don't have picks. That's why I was on Rilo Hills when he said things like, you know, as long as you ain't telling none of the guys, I was cool. I was like, wow. That's a fucking dangerous way to think, Rilo. So yeah, hang with a dude that's a rat. Just because he ain't told on y'all, he told on the other side. But that's just momentarily. When the opportunity presents itself, he's gonna tell on you too. That's how that works. Like I told y'all, rats, thieves, they don't have picks. Liars, they don't have picks. You can't think that a person who lied to everybody else won't lie to you. You can't think that a person that steals from everybody else won't steal from you. That's idiotic, ignorant thinking. They don't have picks because they don't have morals. You gotta have morals in situations like that. You know, these guys don't have morals. They do whatever. It's all about self.
Video shoot. That's what you like to make a call. Nigga so icy. That why? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it's rocking.
Yo, why are you out there recording the dice game anyway? The fuck, girl, put the camera up, bro. You distracted me. That's what I just told his ass. Yo, you distracted me, bro. Put the camera up, bro. Fuck is you recording the dice game? Illegally. This is an illegal dice game going on where people deal with more than likely illegal money, and you was fucking recording the bitch. He probably forwarded this shit to the feds.
Come out. Point. Oh, shit. I'm with it. CEO shit. Put Brittany on camera, boy. You know what it is. All that 150, y'all see it. That beat that white man. DK to the up. You already know Flyway gang shit, Cowboy. You already know how we coming. No, wait up next. We up now, man. Hey. Yeah, boy. We right here. Sing on shoe.
That like button, y'all. Share the live if you new. Subscribe.
Motherfuckers usually don't get this close. Don't get this
close. Look. So he know he out of line. You know, people don't normally get this close. So he know he in violation. Why are you recording that, bro? If they wanted everybody to see, they'd have been out open. Look like they in like a little back cut or something. You know what I mean? If everybody was privy to this dice game, they did it in the middle of a four-way stop sign. They in the cut, man. It's supposed to be done privately. Not for the world to see.
It's a real little nigga. And he BD, and it's only a few of us, man. Your boy G Skinny ain't no G no more. His ass got an S on that name now. Snitch Skinny. His ass the lieutenant. His ass told the detectives.
Ain't G Skinny, that's J-Main brother, right? But look how he talked about him in his face versus how he talking about him now he dead and gone.
It's a real little nigga. And he BD, and it's only a few of us, man. Your boy G Skinny ain't no G no more. His ass got an S on that name now. Snitch Skinny. His ass the lieutenant. His ass told the detectives, Sergeant Bruno and Detective Brown. Them real detectives, bro. I got grabbed by these detectives. If anybody been in Gyro Hood, Detective Brown, Bruno, all them real fucking detectives. That's how I know he told them, bro. But I'm off this shit though, man. It's some real niggas in that hood, some real niggas in every hood. But sometimes you gotta be disappointed by this shit. You gonna get disappointed by this shit, man. On some real shit, bro. And all I can tell you is, if that's your man's, if he told once, he Yeah, tell again, bro. That's all I'm telling you. He ain't talking because I ain't hanging around his ass. You hear me?
Yo, wow.
Trenches News built this platform by fooling people into believing that he was solid and he got respect on both sides. After we found that to be untrue, he threw his hand back in the deck and acquired a cheat code to snitch. Rumor got it, he's somewhere in witness protection, recording voiceover to the same old image to keep the bread flowing, because he know firsthand what happens when rats get exposed based on what he did to his so-called little homie G Skinny.
If I was Trenches News, or if I was Butter, I'd be dead. I can't do that in my city. I can't do no more interviews. I can't do none of that shit. That shit's over. I don't got no platform to talk on. I don't got nothing. I don't got no viewers. I don't got nothing. That shit over. Shit a wrap. And my...
Hold up. Because now he's interviewing Woody. He lucky I ain't get on his ass, Barber son. Can't be keeping G News son, yo, dealing with Woody, man. And he's no longer... I remember I told you he just keeping G News son. Nah, I gave him back to Barber, y'all. He's no longer keeping G News son. He's Barber's son, officially.
City. A nigga go take the stand.
Polo.
Fake change his life and all. We ain't dealing with them niggas. Niggas dead out here, B. This just the real world. I'm talking about the street nigga shit, bro. Y'all act like y'all ain't got the guns in the videos jumping around like fuck niggas dead homies. Y'all forgot about that part because the nigga died. Now y'all can push peace. Fuck y'all wasn't pushing peace that week. The peace came after the death.
Now, I did agree with him with the situation with J-Man. He was 100% right on this, but it's just flawed coming from him because he's sitting down talking with Woody now.
Came after the big homies died.
I don't care about none of the death threats. I don't care about people making videos about me, talking about me. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Trenches News.
I think the police helped promote his page, y'all. I don't think the rise of his page was done organically. I think he had somebody working the sidelines for him. Because his content is really garbage. Like he posted the same video and just does voiceovers. Like he's not putting no real work into his videos, and he be lying. He don't even be telling the truth. His page is heavily promoted. No, I ain't claiming. That's Barber's son, y'all. Aunt Glizzy, aka used to be Keep It G News son, is now officially Barber's son, y'all.
News is a household name. Trenches News is up there now with the greats of the snitches.
Wow.
I'm talking about, I'm bigger than Sammy the Bull.
Damn.
I'm bigger than Alpo.
Damn.
I'm bigger than 69. I'm bigger than them all.
No shit.
I told the feds, well, I gotta say that for my book, as you can see.
Your guy sound like a girl.
I'm telling you, we making snitching a movement. When you hear of somebody telling Snitches News, I'm sorry, Trenches News, don't come to mind. Now,
wow.
Niggas sending death threats and all that. I'm in a safe and comfortable spot. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
Subscribe to the channel. Before Trenches News, he was a Chicago blogger with a channel called Trenches Talk TV. In the early days, he said Swipe was playing YouTube games with it. By now, his channel Trenches News and making similar videos so they can be playing the algorithm together.
Look up Trenches. It's gonna pop up Trenches News, Trenches Talk. He know when you talk about certain shit that I'm talking about, at the end of the day, it's gonna collide together. So people gonna watch this, people gonna watch that. And by he got more numbers, he jumped in front of me with all them clout chasing moves and tactics that he did. But I don't care about that. Niggas know I'm the real one. I'm the solid one. I'm the one that actually fuck with the artists. I'm the one that actually all over the internet, not him. I'm not over the internet beating up women. I'm not on the internet people talking about me wearing a mask and all that shit. I'm the real one. I'm the authentic one.
As a man, I never understand what type of shit was this man on to send a tweet out like that there. I mean, I know he's trying to diss the deer from O Block. Why the fuck is he worried about where Lil J pissing at? I don't understand, gang. But once I seen that video of Trenches Talk TV and C Hood with one of his exes up there, man, listen, this all started to make sense, my boy. Shout out C Hood and Trenches Talk TV. Alright.
Put a little closer, gang.
Whoa, hold on!
Oh no, look closer, boy. What the fuck? What's his name? Trenches News? Go down a little bit. There you go. Yeah, what the fuck? You see, what?
Yeah, well, we were talking on and off for 3 years, and then we made it serious after the 2nd year.
What? Okay, so when this was?
Who the fuck is that?
Not even.
Oh no, man! What?
I'm looking his ass for all the time, though. But that's
Trenches News Media.
What the fuck?
What made media? You mean Big D Made Media Magazine? You say Made Media Magazine? You say you made Made Media Magazine in California, right?
What? Yeah, Blister
San
too.
Francisco. I had a booking out there, and I met him in San Francisco.
I'm fucking what?
I was in his hotel room, and they also made this ass.
Why does it look like that?
I will show y'all one more time, man. Trenches News.
Telling me they be doing a blog and
Man, what did I just watch? A transmission on Instagram saying they made your ass pop in San Francisco is crazy. Just when you thought you heard it all, the internet hit you with another Hadouken. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit that like button and share. Tell a friend.
I just basically just played this video for the people, for the non-believers, when I be telling y'all about these rats and how dangerous they is and why people don't fuck with them. Like, it's bigger than the streets, man. Stop letting the internet and Whack 100 and some of these other guys convince you that the black community, not even black community, people don't respect the snitch. It's a street code. It's more of a code of ethics, honor, integrity. You feel me? These guys aren't honorable. This man got a whole laundry list of domestic violence charges, man. He like putting his hands on women, man. You feel me? And that lines up to what I be telling you a snitch is, man. The one guy said he was stealing from his sister's kids. No morals, no principles, no integrity. Just a slime ball. But Umar Johnson, y'all. Umar fucking Johnson. I might have to look into this guy alone. I don't think he is authentic as he trying to convince people he is, man. I don't. Because he totally bought into the system. Part 3. Where the hell you join that? So, remember, he exposed himself from being employed by Revolt TV. It's up there, podcast. He don't have anything that indicates on his platform that Revolt is the one who is backing him. I think he's a part of Charlemagne the God Black Effect Network. Now, Charlemagne, when all that stuff was going on with Umar Johnson, Charlemagne said he was going to give him a Breakfast Club interview where they was going to discuss some of these things. It never happened. I think instead Charlemagne sent them to this guy. Because based off of Charlemagne history, Charlemagne would have had to hold him accountable. And Charlemagne don't want to do that. He don't want to hold Umar accountable. I think Umar Johnson isn't to be trusted. I never believed when they said that he was under investigation because I think Umar Johnson is part of the play. So when this woman said he was, and she turned out to be a liar on certain aspects. So when she was saying Umar Johnson was ready to go to jail, I said, man, fuck no. Who remember me saying that? I said, man ain't going to jail. Man not getting charged, man. He a part of them people, man. He a part of them people. If he was doing this to another community, he'd have been indicted, been investigated, been arrested. But since he's doing it to black people, it's acceptable. Yeah, iHeartRadio, but he part of Black Effect too. Black Effect is Charlemagne thing he got going on. he got a deal with iHeart, and he presented himself as a man of integrity, but you can't be. Watch how he conducted this interview with Umar Johnson. Y'all. It's like he was trying his hardest to help Umar Johnson create this story. Now, Umar Johnson said the FDMG Academy is finished. All it has to do is get inspected. Why would you announce it then? If it got to get inspected, then it ain't. If you have to pass inspection, then it's not finished. It's not finished. So Umar Johnson is trying to go on this victory lap like we done. Everything is done. But everything ain't done because it hasn't passed inspection. You have to pass inspection first. So why not wait until that process is finished before you announce the opening? But I just want y'all to see how he tried to help Umar Johnson create this story. Now I told y'all I hope he do open the school. I do. Would I put my kids in it based off of how he been moving? Fuck no. You know, but at least he'll be standing on what he said at the very least.
The attorney that's representing the party of 40 will be sent to him to show good faith that we're willing to sit down and
I stopped fucking with Learn after I watched that Charleston White interview. I was like, whoa. This interview was wild. Charles White made him look foolish. But you shouldn't have even been. If you was a man like you say you is, Charles White shouldn't have never been on your platform, bro. Like you can't say you this and you that, and I'm just a hell of a nigga. I'm the prime minister. You know, everything about me solid. But you sitting across from Charles White who told on friends and got one of his friends 99 years. Like that don't make sense, bro. Cause I don't buy into, you know, it's just content. You know, it's content. Yo, if I can't fuck with you, if I can't fuck with you in real life, you know, based off of, you know, if I watch your interviews, right? And your interviews, not the one you do with me, but just your interviews in general, don't align with how my stance on things, my morals, my principles, my integrity, then yo, you can't get on my platform, bro. Straight up. I don't care how many views you bring. It wouldn't matter to me if I'm guaranteed 1 million views. I can't do it because I don't fuck with the way you conduct yourself. The way you conduct yourself is outside of what I stand on, which means you got to be outside of my circumference. We can't never work together.
him a chance to give an explanation.
That like button, y'all.
Why this school hasn't been open.
And the next thing you know, they trying to sell the school without any notice. I think they did it because of my personal political views. Yo, these was times where I had my gun in my hand like, yo, I should go blow his mother effing brains out, man. That's the people's money you just stole.
Are you ignoring the fact, though, that genuinely some of your supporters, doubt has crept in because of the timeline of the school?
The UMAR has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back.
And they started to help me. And as soon as they started to help me, Apple Pay debanked me.
No, I still don't have a reason. And guess what? They said they didn't have to supply one.
Before I get into this, right? Let me show y'all something. So, y'all know these guys on the internet be ducking me and shit, right? Hassan Campbell, Charleston White, Umar Johnson, the fake Black Panther dude, my son. Like, I didn't offer every single one of these guys to have a conversation on YouTube about, you know, some of the things that they stand on. You know, none of them want to talk. So the latest guy is this ghetto gospel dude. We're gonna get back to Umar. Because I don't want to forget this. So we had a situation in Baltimore where hold on. Baltimore County Police. Where's the whole video? All right. Where a guy by the name of Big Sam was killed by a Baltimore County police officer. Now I'm not even gonna get my take on it.
Everyone.
Right.
I'm Rick Ritter.
Let's go to Baltimore County Police their page. But I want y'all to hear this nigga. And I offered him to have a conversation about it. He'll say, yeah. I said, all right, we can do it at 6 o'clock today, which is 20 minutes from now. Y'all think I heard from dude? Nope. Sure the fuck haven't. It's like if these people want to, they want to talk on their platforms.
You're on a different level of war now, though. That's what I'm wondering, do you feel that? When you, because
they want to talk on their platforms. They want to say some of the wildest things, right? But they don't want to debate it. They don't want to talk about it with anybody that has a difference of opinion. But they be so loud and bold when they say these things. Like if you're able to say some of these things that these people say bold like that, you should be able to say it with a person that has a difference of opinion. And it should be able to make sense. You know, you should be able to come into that conversation, leave that conversation the same way you came into it. You should be able to do that. But these guys lack substance. They're not able to do that. They have talking points. And they can't go outside of those talking points because they're going to sound foolish.
And the Maryland Attorney General's office tonight released body camera video from a use of force incident last month in Baltimore County. This one involving Samuel Brown. As we reported, county police say an officer found the 57-year-old asleep in his car at a traffic light in Woodlawn. Investigators say Officer Derek Hadel woke Brown up. Then there was a conversation between the two. Initial audio from that conversation was not recorded by the officer's body camera. Then you could see from the footage, though, Brown get out of his car, like here, and Officer Hadel then seen pushing him back 2 times. Brown responds by shoving the officer's hand down. After the second shove, Officer Hadel throws 2 punches. Brown then seen falling to the concrete, hitting his head. The video, it gets graphic. That's why we paused it at this point.
So the officer put his hands on this guy twice. He responds back by pushing the officer's hands down. Mind you, this is a guy that's intoxicated. Which means you have to, carry it on a different level. You got to know what you're dealing with. So I want y'all to hear this guy's take on this situation. So look, you see I asked him. Let's have a conversation on YouTube about your take on things. So he said, all right, let's do it. I told him 6 o'clock. Let's see if I can find that comment. So listen to his breakdown of this situation. So I texted him a couple hours ago. Like, what's up, bro? You gonna do that? Let me show y'all so you don't think I'm making it up. Okay. Okay, bet. We can do that. Let's have a conversation about these things, bro. This is what he say. Okay, bet. We can do that. We can set up for 6 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern time. which is approximately 22 minutes from now. I ain't heard from him since. And I texted him a couple hours ago before I started this live. But listen to his take on this. The fuck?
So faces no public accountability. Look at the video.
I gotta go back. Hold on. These niggas are scared to talk. I don't even know why he be popping up on my timeline. I don't even follow y'all. I used to follow him, but he said some flawed shit a while ago. And I unfollowed his ass for that. Now he be popping back up on my timeline. Where the fuck is the video at? Fuck is the video? There you go.
Here we go. Look, Baltimore man dies after being punched by police, falling and hitting his head on concrete. Family demands justice as officer faces no public accountability. Look at the video.
Get in your car. Get in your car, sir.
I glad I
Get in
have
your car, sir.
I glad I'm
Get in your fucking car, sir. Get in your car.
So now we all...
Yo, the officer punched him for not getting in his car. Basically. Based off that video, because he didn't get in his car, he deserved to be punched. But listen to this fuck boy that's scared to have a conversation about it.
No, when you get pulled over in a traffic stop, what do? You supposed to stay in the car. Remain in the car until you told otherwise, right? Now, he's getting out the car at a traffic stop.
Now, he's not factoring in that this man is intoxicated. Obviously. Intoxicated. He sleep at a light. So can you expect logical or reasonable? So that discredits that first part of the conversation, of his whole argument. You can't expect that from him, knowing he's intoxicated. You can't expect him to stay in on a normal day, an average person, you that's what you're supposed to do. But you got to remember, as an officer coming into this situation, that you are dealing with a person that's intoxicated.
Which, as if where I'm from, I know a lot of these police is trigger happy, they nervous, they scared. That alone would have got you fired on jumping out the car, approaching an officer in a traffic stop, right? But he still didn't say nothing. You getting out, but you approaching him. And as a human being, what do we do? Minus the badge, minus the uniform. When somebody's approaching you and about to invade your space, you put your hand out to stop them from getting too close. Yo, sir, like, what you doing? Like, yo, get back in your car. Why are you getting out the... You smacks his hand down. You're intoxicated. You smacks his hand down. He still don't fire on you. He do it again. Sir, get back in the car and like back up. You smacks his hand again. Now he returned the aggression and two-piece you. You go out. You hit your head on the floor and pass away. Condolences to his family. Rest in peace to dude. But he was dead wrong. And I'm reading the comments, and as usual, the black people is enabling this behavior when he's dead wrong and making it into a racist situation when it's not. Anybody can see that he was in a wrong. Ray Charles can see that. But that's why we so fucked up. We enable nothing but fuckery. Like, ain't nobody going to be like, yo, you wrong, man. Like, he was wrong. And sorry he lost his life for being intoxicated, making a bad decision. But he was dead wrong. And I'm waiting for the comments. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, I wanted him to talk about this with me, man. But he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that. Only reason he responded is because people started liking it. He felt like he had to respond. But that boy's scared to death, man. I make his ass look real fucking foolish on this internet. Scared ass nigga. All right, now back to Umar Johnson. My bad, we had to segue to that real quick because I wanted to get that on record that the nigga ducked me, which I knew he was gonna do.
Supporters, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back.
And they started to help me. And as soon as they started to help me, Apple Pay debanked me.
No, I still don't have a reason.
To this
and guess
day,
what? They said they didn't have to supply one.
do you think when you came out and done that, that it affected your cultural equity at all? Do you think your rhetoric and what you've done over the last 16 years, do you get away debt free with that? Do you think white supremacy allows Dr. Umar Johnson?
No, they watching. School we building ain't never been built in this country before. This is the first school in American history, independent, African-centered school, financed with donations from African people on every single continent in the world.
Chicken, if you ain't talking no dough, then I ain't interested. Look, they say the sky's the limit, I'm going farther than that. She keep blowing on my phone, so I called her mama, come get your daughter back. They just want a little bit of fame, get them boys whack. Wipe it, little one eye, bust your brain, but get a hard hat. They say the sky's the limit, I'm going farther. They can try to, but can't kill me. I'm immortal. I just bought a nigga life, as and did a side, come with that order. You lazy, the reason you broke, you don't know how to hustle. Don't try me, they know I'm stressed on. Red rum, red dot, hit the block when 12 comes out. Know I'm thugging to the fullest, asking for a bullet, cause he never felt one. Stick him to the wall, this a nail gun. Riding with my dog, trying to nail something. Yeah. I see them you when he got your partner too.
Sure. Let's talk about FDMG for a moment. No, sure. before we get to FDMG, you did come out at one point and say that your accounts were frozen, business and personal. What was the update on that? And explain to the audience a little bit. Explain to the audience a little bit what happened, your response to it, and where it stands now.
Well, we got debanked, but the bank kept giving us the runaround. First, they said we just looking into your account. I guess they wanted to see if I was mismanaging money. I'm assuming the struggle streamers contacted the bank and accused me of fraudulent behavior as they've done in the past. First, they said we was looking into your account, but you're not going to be debanked.
Yo, my take on the situation is, yo, the police is supposed to... I've been said that they got to stop sending... I was going to wait because I want them to talk. I want to talk to them about it. That's why I wasn't going to really speak on it. You know, I really started police brutality situations anyway because they turn political. And I think the Democrats use police brutality as a way to try to get in office. And I think they need to provide, you know, not details, but provide, you know, real solutions. But man, who the fuck knows? But I don't think that police need to be sent to those type of distress situations. I think they need to make another agency that specializes in that. You know, when you're dealing with somebody in a crisis or you're dealing with somebody drunk, you know, because they're supposed to be trained for de-escalation, but it's obvious that they're not. You know, they don't know what to do in that type of situation. But whenever you got a situation like that, the responsibility relies on the police officer because you're the one with training. You're trained to de-escalate. You're not trained to meet aggression with aggression. Especially a situation like that. Like, it's obvious the man not even in his right state of mind. Like, I don't even deal with drunk people that way. If I know a person is drunk, I'm not going to be as aggressive as I would be with a person that's sober. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, you drunk, bro, you tripping, go ahead. Like, but that's not what that officer did in that situation. So I think the officer was wrong. I don't think it was necessary at all. You feel me? Yeah, crisis intervention unit.
Bank, right? And then the next thing you know, I get a letter in the mail saying I'm the bank. So I call them I said, y'all told me y'all just looking into the account. Yeah, well, we didn't know. We thought they was, and we just got this letter from the higher ups saying that.
Now now listen to how Umar Johnson pivots. This whole interview, Loon allowed Umar Johnson to control the narrative. As the interviewer, you're supposed to control the narrative. But he allowed Umar Johnson to control the narrative the whole interview. Learn to ask questions or get ready to ask questions, and he'd be cut off, and Umar Johnson would just start answering it without this man even finish asking the question. That's a tactic used by Umar to control the narrative.
We can no longer host your account, that we have the right to choose who we can and cannot. But then Donald Trump, or was it Joe Biden? It might have been Trump who signed this law that says banks cannot just debank you because they don't like you. You follow what I'm saying? But we were a black bank now, so I'm going to let it be. But I think I did have grounds to sue because I think they did it because of my personal political views. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and I was with that bank since I was in my first summer job at 14 years old. It just goes to show white folks don't care nothing about you. You feel me? So we got debanked. While we're debanked, the city of Wilmington tries to sell.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I want to deal with the bank side first because, like you said, you were debanked. Some of the reports came out, and a lot of the content creators were reacting because for the first time in your career, you asked for personal donations.
Yeah, because I was debanked too. In other words, while we was the bank, we couldn't access no money. So my personal account is froze, and the school's account is froze. And I didn't know how long they was going to be froze.
Did they give you a reason?
I still don't have a reason.
To this
day. And guess
day.
what? They said they didn't have to supply one. Yes.
Wow. So you're debanked, and all of a sudden,
the money froze with no promise of when it's going to be released. They gave me a date, right? And then that date came, and I still ain't got my money. So I'm calling around the lawyers and everything. And the one lawyer, like, it's hard to get your money back from these banks. I said, what? He said, yeah, them banks.
It ain't hard to put it in there.
Yeah, but he was telling me, like, with them banks, you got to be careful. He said he heard of banks who held on to people money for years, bro. You got to be careful with these banks, man. Yeah. He said the rules around finance give them a lot of leeway, bro.
I bet.
They can straight have you. You could be a multi-millionaire and be broke as shit messing with these banks, bro. Yes.
So you're debanked. You received.
Right.
You just
That's
received.
what
Did
he
you
was doing the
receive a
whole
letter?
interview,
Did you go try to access your
What
account?
happened was I had
Look,
this. I think I was sending my
the whole interview. Yo, cutting. He not even allowing them to ask the questions, man.
cousin like $50, and it said zero balance. That's what did it. I called the bank. Why is my thing? Oh, your accounts are not accessible right now. For
So
what?
look, so this interview, I guess the reason for this interview was to this has been perceived that he's going to hold Umar Johnson accountable. He's going to ask the tough questions. He's going to get to the bottom of all the rumors, all the speculation involving Umar Johnson and the banks, all the speculation involving Umar Johnson and the school. But he didn't do none of that. He didn't hold him accountable at all. Umar Johnson is talking about the bank. And I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let him rock.
Currently reviewing them. For what? I don't know. Only central office.
Yeah, they're told not to say nothing. Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah.
Look.
So I was in limbo.
Damn. So, and you know what? It's interesting because when that happened, of course, a series of events happened, but I just want to deal with the bank part because do you think when you came out and done that it affected your cultural equity at all? When you said that because people weaponize that. We're not gonna act like
they
people
weaponize everything. They weaponize what I eat, what I wear.
Yeah, but this time it led into some of the narratives they've been trying to make. It was bad timing. It didn't bother you at all.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Like, in order to understand me, the one thing people have to understand is I believe I was born to do what I'm doing. And because of that, there's a thin layer of protection around me. You feel me? If you've noticed, I've been through a whole lot these 16 years that I've been global, right? And I bounced back from everything.
Because you're Asian.
And I think it's because them ancestors, man, they're real. You feel me? They're real. And I think that as long as I stay true to my mission, they got me. And I was told that in the divination. Babalabo said, listen, your ancestors are with you. The success of your school is going to be contingent on you remaining loyal and honest to your ancestors. Because remember, they are our angels, right? And he said the success of your school is largely contingent on the ancestors. They're going to decide when it opens up, right? So because I believe I was born to do what I'm doing, I mean, look, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that I'm related to Frederick Douglass by accident. Do you feel me?
Yo, Frederick Douglass peoples came out and said this nigga is lying. Yeah, it's like, why is he still doing that? When Frederick Douglass people say, yo, this man is not related to us. Like, it's like he act like we forgot. Like, before you mention Frederick Douglass or mention being related to him, yo, can you elaborate on, you know, did you talk to his real family? Did y'all ever come to a determination like, oh, all right, you are related? Because maybe I missed it, but I don't think he ever did that, man. I know he tried to explain it, but he explained it as an individual. You didn't explain it as a family. Like, yeah, we got together, we talked it out, and we did realize that, they do know now that I am a part of this family. I ain't never seen him do that.
You feel divine, this whole thing.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We come, he's a speaker, he's a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a writer. Before I knew I was, you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You could argue that our family might be the most impactful black family in American history. Think about it. You got Frederick Douglass. You got his two sons, Lewis and Charles, one of which was the Sergeant Major of the 54th. Make sure you go to AMC and watch Glory. It's out. You feel me?
Okay, yeah, bet. Y'all let's check that out as a family.
Yes. My grandfather, George, first black public school teacher and Civil War veteran, founder of Bethel AME. His father, my grandpop, Stephen, I come through their loins. You see, this is the cousin of Frederick Douglass and half-brother. And then you got me with what I've done in the 21st century.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another family in black history that got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men who put in the work we put in. You got Malcolm. Malcolm grandson did a little.
Is Umar Johnson related to Frederick Douglass? Umar Johnson has frequently claimed to be a direct descendant and blood relative of 19th century abolitionist Frederick Douglass. However, this family connection is highly disputed, with some researchers and critics labeling this claim as false.
Little activism. I was supposed to meet him before he passed. Malcolm's father was a president for Garvey. He was a Garvey leader. I believe his grandfather did some work, right? But that ain't.
Researchers have challenged this, stating that a review of Frederick Douglass' autobiographies does not support the existence of a Stephen Henry Bailey as a close relative in the manner described by Johnson. The lineage does not match with the verified bloodline of Frederick Douglass. Like this nigga is crazy. And Loon, this is why I say Loon is messing up his credibility. He paints himself as a man of honor. Then why you let that man? Why you let him say this on your platform, bro? Why you let him say it, yo? It has been. It's not true. He's the only one saying this. Nobody else. I'm sure Frederick Douglass got a long family. A lot of them shit. Nobody else vouched for him or his alleged grandfather that's supposed to be related to Frederick Douglass.
6. And then you got the Malcolm girls, right?
Yep.
You got Dr. King brother, Dr. King father, Dr. King right? So Malcolm, they got a pretty strong lineage. King got a pretty strong lineage. You got a few more. Booker T. Washington got a nice little lineage. But I don't think nobody, even with them, I don't think nobody messing with the Bailey dynasty. We got them.
But even for this generation, you carrying the flag so high.
Yes.
Like with the King family, and it's like we know y'all there and we love y'all, support
but
y'all.
You ain't front and center.
You ain't front and center. You just not on the marquee.
Me and Frederick Douglass is enough. Take us two. Who got two like that?
You feel me? And so that's what I want to speak about, right? Because what you have been doing over the last 16 years, and you end up being debanked. Does that worry you? Do you like?
I was bothered because I've been with the bank since I was 14, so it was kind of sentimental. I got my first summer job, my working papers with them. I'm like, damn, y'all just. But it was a good wake-up call because I already knew white supremacy. But when you go through it,
you're on a different level of war now, though. That's what I'm wondering. Do you feel that when you, because you know, me and Charlemagne are real tight. He had got in a scenario before where some of the shit he was saying on Breakfast Club, they started to remove the insurance of his family and his. Yeah, they started to do certain shit when he first got into politics. People don't know this, but they literally started to target Charlemagne in a way where it's like, shut the fuck up about that. Right? I'm asking you, when you are debanked out of thin air.
Out of thin air.
Does that worry you? Do you understand the level of fight you're really in?
I understand my level of fight. It doesn't really worry me.
Yo, I'd ask him to provide proof. If he was debanked, it has to be some type of documentation. It have to be letters, emails. He didn't produce none of that. Produce it. That's how you stop the critics. Produce facts. Undeniable, verifiable facts. All he doing is talking, man.
Because I've seen it all before with the ancestors. You know what I mean? Like, sooner or later, it has to come to this. You know what I mean? I just didn't expect it then. You know what I mean? It was off guard because I was on my way to South Africa at the time. So I'm like, damn, I'm not going to have no money in South Africa. You know what I mean? And I love South Africa, you know what I mean? So I was broke in South Africa, but everything worked out, though.
Do you think your rhetoric and what you've done over the last 16 years, do you get away dead free with that? Do you think white supremacy allows Dr. Umar Johnson?
No, they watching.
So what I'm saying is,
and they do what they do. You feel me? They watching, they sabotaging, they do what they do.
The debanking.
I'm gonna go to Nat Turner.
Okay.
The Confessions of Nat Turner. I'm born August 21st, the day the Nat Turner War, Haitian Revolution, George Jackson. Nat Turner said that when the Spirit appeared to him, he said, this mission, whether it comes rough or whether it comes smooth, you have to bear it. It also said to him, such is your luck, such you are called to do. And as I said, whether it come rough or smooth, you shall surely bear it. In other words, whatever happens, happens. You feel me? You have to be at peace with the mission.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you did have that scenario, because we're going to move to the school after this, but when you had that, did you notice that it was extremely loud? Like people were like I even heard Joe Budden, who came out and was like, yo, hold on. That doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Maybe people don't understand the debanking process, but people were asking questions like, hold on, you don't have any money, you don't have another card, you don't have someone you can go to. Your first thing is to go right online when this kind of situation happened to you.
The person going online has done more to help black parents save their children from the school to prison pipeline than any black person in American history. There's nobody you can name. Educator, politician, pastor, psychologist, sociologist, who has saved more black children from the school to prison pipeline than Dr. Umar, and I've done it mostly for free. You feel me? So I'm going to my supporters. I'm not going to the world. The world got to hear it, but I'm going to my supporters and saying, yo, I need your help. And they started to help me. And as soon as they started to help me, Apple Pay debanked me.
So you actually started to get money coming in, and Apple Pay debanked you.
I can't use Apple Pay no more.
And you telling me you don't feel like...
And back to your question, they didn't give me a reason either. They're not required to. So I can't use Apple Pay no more.
That's heavy. Without reason, this is happening to you.
Cash App debanked me.
and debanked FDMG. GoFundMe debanked FDMG. All of this because of struggle streamer, cyber thought, interference, and slander. You got to remember, they don't want me to succeed anyway. So if your people come to us saying, shutting down, we clear.
Exactly. We'll go
we
ahead.
Free and clear.
Yeah.
The niggas said,
yeah. That's why I'm wondering.
And that's the sad part about it.
That's so sad.
They don't stop.
Yeah.
It's sad, man.
Well, they don't stop because.
But it ain't. But you know who I'm more mad at? I'm more mad at my supporters in Black America than I am at the struggle streamers and cyberbots and conscious, jealous personalities. Because I shouldn't have to fight them. I do too much for us to have to worry about them.
Yes.
Their heads, not literally, but figuratively, their heads should already be cut off. They should have already been approached. His name don't come out your mouth again, or its consequences. The saddest thing about genuine Black leadership, the Kings, the Malcolms, the Garveys, the Freds, we got to fight the system and fight our people at the same time. And that's why we get so exhausted, because when you come home, you got to deal with them.
Are you ignoring the fact, though, that genuinely some of your supporters, doubt has crept in because of the timeline of the school?
Nah.
You still don't believe?
Nope. And the reason why I don't, because my supporters have never stopped supporting. They still donating right now. You feel me? Most of our supporters are repeat donor. The doubt is the haters, people who don't matter. I don't care what they think.
They also are speaking about like that there's a section of supporters that are not so happy. That are trying.
What's up, real? Umar Johnson don't take credibility for nothing. You ain't lying about that. Ain't nothing ever his fault, y'all. Nothing ever his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. He got debanked. They try to steal the school from him. When we found videos where he said that he owed taxes on this school. He knew that the school, he knew it, y'all. And it's crazy. That gotta be like some type of mental illness where it's proof that you was aware of these taxes from years ago. He brought the school with taxes on it. But sit back and act like they tried to sell school under his nose. Southwest Baltimore, what it do?
Trying to pull some legal moves on you.
No, they're not supporters. The people who are out there, first of all, I'm not under no federal investigation. That's a lie.
Okay.
Struggle streamer lies. And the people putting it out there are not supporters at all.
Wow. See, what they're peddling is there's a class
the
action.
narrative is we're the supporters and we got issues. That's all lies.
Wow.
They are haters masquerading as supporters.
That you're not a supporter of Umar Johnson and FDMG Academy unless you support weekly or hourly, whichever come first. You can't watch nobody that none of his detractors, no struggle streamers, and you have to at least share his Cash App. That's the only way you're a supporter, y'all. If you miss one of them qualifications, you are classified as a non-supporter.
Jealousy and envy.
In your heart, you don't believe there's any supporters that saying, Doc, it's been a long time.
Nope.
I love you. I believe you.
Not the ones who follow because they've always been kept lock and step with me.
Yeah, but that's blind faith. And we don't want to.
It ain't blind faith because they see the school.
You see how you keep cutting them off?
The progress of the school step by
I'm like,
step.
goddamn, Umar, let me talk.
The setbacks. They've never been in the dark. You got to remember now. I give 300 speeches a year? I'm the most requested Black scholar in the world, bar none. Most popular Pan-Africanist in the world, bar none. The #1 Black conscious personality in this country, bar none. Most credentialed, most popular, most loved, most hated, most everything. So people get to hear me regularly. So the updates are, you could probably go to a Dr. Umar supporter, a true one, and say, give me the timeline of the school. They could probably tell you, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, the plumbing, the HVAC.
You know what? I rock with you. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that 100% of your supporters or 100%.
I disagree.
I think some of them are because
you may have to redefine supporter then, because maybe you're talking about Maybe you're talking about somebody who might have gave $10 once 10 years ago, but support for me is somebody who supports and consistently donates. They don't have issues. You gotta remember, I got personal relationships with all my supporters. I know them. So if you come to me and say your supporters got issues, I'm gonna ask you for a name. Remember, we recorded every donation. We know everybody. Right. So you see what I'm saying? And this is how I get the haters, because they say, yeah, I donated.
I'd also asked him who is we, because he referenced we a lot, but we only see him. I mean, we only see him. So who else is a part of this project, Umar? Let us know. Fill us in on the we. Because we don't see anybody else co-signing this. We don't see anybody else promoting the school. Who the fuck is we?
My first question, I need your name. How did you donate? Cash App? Check? When was your last donation? Because we got it recorded. Let me look you up. And then I look them up. You don't even exist.
And you know what? Another thing I want to speak to while I have
then when people talk about
and
how
we
long,
want clear money back. What's up, Sean?
That's an opinion, Lou. Remember, the school we building ain't never been built in this country before. This is the first school in American history, independent, African-centered school, financed with donations from African people on every single continent in the world. Never been done. Too long, according to your government-sponsored charter school. That's government money. You can't compare this to this. Your home school, that's your basement. That ain't no institution. I saw a hater the other day.
Listen to how bad he talks about black people, y'all. Like Umar Johnson creates a horrible image of black people. Don't you know how sometimes, my bad, y'all, I'm eating. But don't you know how sometimes, like when I talk about people or our community, I always say there's some. Some of our community is living like this. Some of our community is doing that. So it's always some. He never does that. He makes it like everybody is struggling. Everybody don't take care of their kids. Every black woman child is running the streets. Let's listen to how he do it. I don't like that. For you supposed to be so pro-black, you sure do view your people in a negative light.
Hating out of New York, talking about how his homies built 2 schools or something. Where? In a home? Storefront? Basement?
Look,
this is real buildings here. This is a real school.
Why I gotta be a storefront or a basement? Why? It just gotta be the look. Whatever black people do in Umar Johnson mind, it gotta just be at it gotta be in the pits of hell. Why do it gotta be in the basement, bro?
School, teacher's lounge, gym, cafeteria. You comparing an institution to a home school? And now, everybody got this new school thing going on, right? So-and-so opened the school. You know what their definition of school is? A room with some books and pencils.
Right. What's the tone?
A room. It's like church, right? I got a church. And then you go. The church is in your living room?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's church and then there's
remember
church.
that?
Right.
There's schools and then there's schools. We have a school.
Let me ask you this. Do you think with everything that's being said, and also why I want to clarify something, because I do see one of your detractors, and again, I understand how this works, man. A lot of people, they form a confederacy.
Yeah, and they want to come up off your name.
Yeah, because they make money from the YouTube thing, right? And so
I'm got like 20 families on the internet, bro.
Right, but I do want to clarify something, because when they bring your donation amount in question online,
they don't know the donation amount.
I get that, and I see this from a lot of them, and I want to clarify that because they use my platform, they use one of our conversations, and so I want to clarify for the record, if there's an investigation going on or whatever's going on, I want to clarify this. A lot of people are saying that at a certain point you said that you had not took in $1 million.
We've never had $1 million at one time.
Now, right. But that's not what. All I'm saying is this: they got the dates wrong. So they're using a date of an upload date on YouTube, and it was upload for the second or third time at that point.
Okay.
So the
numbers I heard is preposterous. The date. I've heard 3 million. We've never hit 3, bro. I heard 5. I've heard 8. I heard 10. If we had that money, both schools would be done. What are
are we talking about? If I got that, bro, we already open and running.
So he just admitted that even still with him saying he only one school was supposed to be finished. The other one he ain't even started on that one yet.
Bro.
Yeah. You know, do you see why, with everything you're going through, getting the school
Yeah,
up
he
and running, do
defended
you
it.
see why people go to charter school, right?
Yeah, he defended. That's why I say his integrity is on the line. He is ruining his integrity, yo. Learn.
Oh, for sure. It's easy. It's government money, but they control you, though.
His image is on the
Remember,
line.
the school we own was a charter school. They took their charter. They accused them of financial mismanagement and shut them down. I'm not giving no white man that power over me. They can still shut you down for some other fake stuff, right? Right. But it ain't gonna because I need some money.
Right.
We did this with. Think about this though.
That's why I was gonna ask you.
Black money, self-determination.
That's dope. That's why I want to know how important is that victory lap gonna be for you?
It's important because people heard me say what we need to do. It's something else to see you do it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at anybody else in the conscious community, and I say this humbly and with respect to them all, because they still members of the African race, whether they identify with it or not, none of them are building a relevant institution. You cannot name me anybody in the conscious community of the United States, I don't care what ideology, what religion, what they claim, who's building a relevant institution. School, bank, hospital, supermarket, manufacturing, distribution. You feel me? I'm the only one, and I'm the busiest one. So what excuse do you have? Now when the school opens, questions get different for that. Because once they see FDMG open, now they're going to go to him and say, look, bro, you've been talking as long as Dr. Umar. What institution you got? Because that ain't it. What institution you going to build? You? If Dr. Umar more popular.
Yo, so when is this inspection happening? Has he given us a date for this inspection? For him filing for this residency of occupancy? The school is done. Okay. What's next? When are you gonna do? I mean, like, come on, Umar. Like, I'm just tired of the game of charades, man. We've been playing this game with yo for too long, man. And he tried to act like he oblivious to why people was like, yo, what the fuck is up, my nigga? Like, I mean, what we doing here?
Than all y'all put together. He speak more than all y'all put together. He more credentialed than all y'all put together. If he can give us a school starting without a penny, what you gonna give me? See, the reason they wanted to stop it, Loon, is because in their minds I was already too big. He don't need nothing else. Now with this, it's a wrap.
This a big deal.
But I didn't do it for that. Because people be asking me, now that the school is done, all the renovations is done, we still got to pass inspection. That's going to be a whole nother fight. You feel me? But I'm going to go into a positive. Because, you know, now they got to come through what they find too. Right, check.
Yeah.
But what I have to tell people, they stopped me in the airport, ain't you glad you shut up the haters? First of all, I didn't shut up the haters. They're going to find something else.
Yes.
Right? But I didn't do this for them. The focus has always been black boys, and that's what it's going to stay.
Right. Now that's a blessing. And again, I'm rooting for you. I always been rooting for the school. It's a beautiful idea. Couple different things. Before we pivot off of the accounts and things being frozen. Also on the
Yo, he never got to the bottom of the account situation. Yo, show me an email, a letter, something. I'm sure you have to send you something, bro. Like, yo, like you can't just speak on things that can be proven. And we supposed to just believe you without no proof. Show proof.
Joe Budden podcast, Mark Lamont Hill said he reached out to you during that time. I just want to get your
We haven't spoken. I think he did text me.
Okay.
Shout out to Mark Lamont Hill, but we haven't spoken.
For sure. Also, in that moment when the accounts were frozen, there was another altercation where on the schools in Wilmington, Delaware, there were two papers. The papers were presented by the state and the city. I'm sorry. You said that they were trying to sell the school from up under
without notice,
simultaneously with your account.
Are you going to?
And that's a lie, y'all. Remember that live where he was talking to that one lady that didn't believe him, and he explained that it was taxes owed on the school. He talked about the water bill. He knew good and goddamn well this school was going to be sold. That was 4 years ago. So this he and Loon is sitting around here. Maybe he didn't do his research. But you sitting here allowing this man to lie to you in your face, bro.
Tell me that's a coincidence.
I'm asking you. I'm telling you, there's a war going on.
What do you
No
feel
man is safe
from the outside?
There's a war going on outside that no man is safe from. And I'm saying you are actively. If I take you at what you're saying, you're debanked. You are actively in a war that it doesn't feel like you understand.
No. I understand.
Okay.
No, trust me. I understand.
Okay.
No, I understand.
Because I'm saying this is much more serious.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Because that was one of the biggest pieces of.
Yo, now he's helping create the narrative that Umar Johnson is a victim. Umar Johnson is being targeted. Man, fuck no. Because if Umar Johnson was doing this to another group of people, they'd have been arrested his ass. They'd have been made sure he had all his ducks in a row. This man ain't being targeted, man.
The evidence I received, outside of being told by FBI agents I know that I'm being watched, that was one of the biggest pieces of confirmation I received that they're actively trying to stop you. They heard you got debanked and moved that quickly. No notice, Loon.
Yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into how.
Yeah, that's a lie, yo. That's a lie, man.
No phone?
Yeah, man.
For 5 months. Mind you, I was reaching out.
So
trying to deal with the vacant property registration fee.
Let's context set in here.
So
$72,000 was the number that I think it was. Was it
40 something?
Okay, 40 something. I thought you said they said we owe 72,000.
You know what?
Look,
it could have been 70.
Look,
it's been a minute now.
Yeah.
He can't even keep up with his lies. He definitely said it was 70,000. That nigga can't even keep up with his lies, man.
It could have been 40 for the vacant fee property registration fees past date, plus the current utilities. Because you got to remember, the water bills be crazy, and we're not even using no water.
Like even in here, the gas and shit is high. But tell me,
you're not using.
Yeah, not at all.
But utilities is a big scam.
Yeah,
it's a big scam. But
yeah, because it's a collective type of thing. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So talk to me. Walk me through this. Number one, how the city got to that position to want to sell it, and how you missed whatever correspondence they said.
I didn't miss it. They just stopped communicating with me because they knew they was trying to sabotage me. I didn't miss
Now remember, what actually happened was they contacted Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson didn't remember that video we did. How you was there? Umar Johnson stopped answering the phone for them. Then that's when they just said, you know, we just gonna take the buildings. Who remember that video when we found that out? He ghosted them. But ultimately, what they did was, all right, you want to play this dumbass game? Because he supposed to been meeting them to do some shit. Yeah, check out the water. Remember? He supposed to been meeting them about some water shit, and he didn't show up.
It's nothing. You're supposed to get a 4-year waiver if you're a nonprofit where you don't pay the vacant property registration fee, which they jumped up from about $1,500 a year to like $7,000. Trying to destroy us through bleeding our account, right? So I call them up and say, yo, we nonprofit. Can we get the 4-year waiver? Your application got in too late. You feel me?
It happens.
So,
like, this nigga crazy. Hold up, yo. Hey, yo. He said the application got in too late. Like there was something nefarious behind it. Yo, they got dates on shit. You got deadlines. Look, this paper needs to be filled out by this day. If you miss this day, yes, the application got in too late, bro. There's nothing else we can do. We gave you 3 weeks or a month to give us this paperwork. You didn't do it. Like, what else the fuck want us to do now? Like, yo, this nigga is crazy, yo. Dr. He fraud today. This motherfucker is wilding, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that they be doing this and they think we just pose a. Yeah, that makes sense. Yo, that's not their fault that you got the application in too late, Doc. That's your fault, bro.
This was before the letters, right?
We got the letter.
I'm saying, how do we even get to the point
We got to this because when I got the vacant property registration fee waiver, I asked them, can y'all retroactively apply the waiver to us? Because I remember, I was late. Can y'all just do me this solid?
No. See, he lying again. It was already a bill on the water when he bought the company, when he bought the buildings. They're not going to make that shit retroactive, bro. Yo, when any property you buy with a lien on it, you have to pay off the fucking debts. Everybody knows that. If you buy a property with any kind of lien on it, which means there's bills, there's unpaid bills, you have to pay that off. And no, they're not going to make it retroactive. They might make it retroactive from the time when you brought it, but not retroactive to the time on the previous owner. You got to pay that off, bro. That's how this shit works. That's how it works. And that's what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying Loon credibility is on the line, and he's seeming like he's a fraud because since he's supposed to be the prime minister, he just hell of a nigga. You gotta know that, my nigga. Ain't no way you don't know that. So why would you allow him to just lie? Why are you allowing this man to lie in front of your face on your platform? Is the question I got for Loon.
One time, because that's a lot of money to be paying.
Exactly, just like in the higher attorney.
When we should have the waiver. Yes. And I was told they would get back to me. And I spoke to the person 3 times on the phone, and she kept saying, I'm going to get back to you. And I emailed her 3 times, and she never responded. And the next...
Show us the emails. Show us the emails. Show somebody the emails. God damn. That way you can shut up. Yo, he could have been nipped this in the bud. Because some of the things that he's talking about, it should be a paper trail behind it. He hasn't produced no papers to back up any of his claims. I can't believe you, bro.
Then you know they trying to sell the school without any notice.
Excuse me.
I think the proof is in, you feel me? I never dropped the ball. They stopped communicating with me on purpose.
Now, when you acquired,
you know what's crazy? I was supposed to be out the country.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing, bro.
You would have been gone.
They were going to sell the school when I was out the country. When I came back, sorry, somebody else owns it. I didn't know it was that easy. And then I started talking to property owners. They say, Doc, they doing it in New York. These Zionists and other people, they getting people deeds and faking.
He probably is.
I said, they can literally take your home that you owned your whole life that easy.
He might be the gym teacher.
Something needs to be done about that.
Wow.
You should have to be able to appear in person. You feel
now,
me?
if you notice, Lynn was ready to ask a question and he cut him straight off again. Yo, in an interview setting, you can forget your questions that way. Umar Johnson knows this. Like, interviews aren't really easy to do, you know, because while a person is talking, if you don't got the questions written down, you got to be thinking of questions. Also, you have to be in tune to what this person is saying, just in case you want to ask them more questions about whatever they're speaking of. So Umar Johnson knows this. So what he does is when Loon tries to ask him anything, he just cut him off and get to talking. Hopefully he'll forget what he was going to ask.
Bro, that was crazy.
Now this is heavy. Now,
no notice stuck it on the door.
What I'm trying to understand is, you get these buildings. It was a charter school, no longer a school. So, did the city classify the vacant buildings because it's not a school?
Yeah, because it wasn't being used.
Right.
So it's considered.
And
vacant.
so there's a fee associated with when you acquire these buildings, and they're vacant.
It's the vacant property registration fee.
Okay, and
so
that's every year.
Somebody is still attached to it and working on it.
Okay.
Now, mind you, all of our repairs have been done for 2-3 years now. Technically, we should have already been done. The problem is I decided to paint the building. I should have went for inspection first. You feel me? When I decided to paint...
Yo, this nigga is crazy, yo. Yo, you done painted the building 35 times, bro. I think at this point, he need to try to get the... He need to try to contact Guinness Book of World Records, you know, most painted building. Because he got to be up there, y'all. He done upload at least 75 YouTube videos of him painting. Like that Fdmg Academy is heavily painted. Like heavily painted. Like the paint on that bitch is probably thick as nails. You heard me? They paid that motherfucker 1 million times. That's the fuck you talking about. What I did was, you know what I asked him? Which time are you talking about, Umar? Like, which paint job? You know, the one you did, you know, upon acquiring the building, the one you did 2 years later, the one you did 6 months after that? What the fuck? What paint job are you referring to? Because we didn't watch you paint the bitch, to my knowledge, at least 6 times, you know, with the camera on. That's what I'd ask his ass.
The building and let all the volunteers come in. That ended up taking
yeah, being the great
precise, right? In retrospect, Loon, I should have saved the paint until after we passed the inspection. Right. We probably already be over with this.
Right.
Right. That was
He probably was used to lead paint. That bitch ain't never go over. They would cut that bitch and test the lead levels like UMAR Johnson. We should lock you up for these high levels of lead in this bitch. I'm just be surprised your ass even able to walk in. You like you trying to set us up. Try to give us lead paint upon inhalants. Yo, this guy is crazy, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you need, man.
Yeah. I was so caught up in the look instead of saying, wait, time out. What do you need just to get your paperwork? Yes. Save the paint.
Right.
Historical error.
Yes. Do you think, looking back at everything that has happened with the school, and hold on, first of all, are you free and clear of whatever paperwork that they put on the door?
Well, remember,
is that taken care of?
Remember, we had to pay it.
Look.
By a certain date.
And we pay.
Look. Yo, they moved so far. Look, Learn is trying to inch back into the conversation. UMAR Johnson didn't allow that shit. He tried to inch back into the money aspect of, you know, why was they ready to shut this shit down? UMAR Johnson like, man, fuck that. I told you once, we ain't going back there. I can't really give you no real reason. You know, I can't give you no truthful reason as to the, you know, the details.
Okay. In bulk, they were counting on
that's
me
crazy, man.
Not having it. And I walked in there with the whole thing.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. They think you
like this Negro.
Yeah. So do you feel as though that you've mishandled?
It bothers me because Wilmington is a predominantly black city.
I think he did it again. He did it again. I'd be like, yo, hold up, y'all. Sidebar. We gotta go off the record. Umar, stop doing that shit. Hey, look, if I was doing an interview, that shit would have been like, beep, off the record. That'd be like, yo, Umar, I see what you're doing, bro. Let me ask the question first. Before you get to speak, let me at least get out my question, bro. Look, I'm with you, you know, because he is with him. I'm with you on this. I'm helping you, yo. I ain't trying to slander you, you know. I ain't really trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm just trying to create the illusion that I'm getting to the bottom of it. But yo, I gotta at least be able to ask my question so that it'll be more believable. That nigga is crazy.
The predominantly black city government and bureaucracy. It bothers me that nobody.
Let me go back. Let me show you. Let me show it again.
Not having it.
Look.
And I walked in there with the whole thing.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. They think you
like this Negro.
Yeah. So do you feel as though that you've mishandled?
It bothers me because Wilmington is a predominantly black city. Predominantly black city government and bureaucracy. It bothers me that nobody in that city government cared enough about my project to not even make a phone call to me, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody know my numbers. You feel me? Like, damn. Y'all that trifling? All y'all see this about the nobody go. Even if you call your cousin up, I know you listen to Dr. Umar. Send him a DM and let bro.
It's crazy.
They were gonna let
and
bro.
Then
I
was seeing
people, man.
It was crazy. I was seeing stuff.
So is he ever gonna get back to? Do you feel like you mismanaged? Like, yo, you got to get back to that question, brother. I mean, he derailed you. Is he ever going to get back to? Do you feel like you mismanaged? Let's find out, y'all. Let's see if you ever get that question out.
Online from like white supremacists and other people, like your haters, your detractors and stuff, saying, I'm going to try to buy the building just to bulldozer it and think. And I'm saying, oh, shit, this is more meaningful than just this little thing Dr. Umar is working on. You got white supremacists understanding that there's this black dude working on this school.
Yo, he could have been turned that shit to a rec center for the kids. That would have done great things in that community. A rec center for the kids. You could have made that motherfucker 24 hours. A gym, you know, put some weights in there. Man, you could have did great things, man. And the people would have been okay with that. But having it still closed, it's just a bando in 2026, where you got that motherfucker in 2018, 2019, yo, it's unacceptable, bro.
In Wilmington, Delaware, they were saying that I'm gonna buy the school, bulldozer the school, and just like, I think dude said I'll put a toilet. The only thing gonna be there is a toilet. It was something crazy, but I'm saying that I didn't think that it garnered that kind of attention from
white people. But progress is always a threat, and you change nothing about a people until you change their consciousness and mentality. In the immediate future, it may not matter much to some people, but the long ball, we own it.
Yes,
because this is just the first of many.
Yes, that's the problem, right?
That's the problem. They're looking at the growth. If this pops,
if it works, it's a problem.
The momentum gonna be crazy.
Do you think that you've mishandled any of the processes?
Nah.
Oh, he got
the only thing that could have made this better is if the contractors we hired to do their work had integrity. We can't.
Would you admit if you had fell short somewhere?
Sure.
Is that hard for you to admit?
Nah.
Because of everyone watching?
Nah. The only thing that took time was we kept getting scammed by people we were referred to do the work. We got scammed.
Yeah, I told y'all, Umar Johnson gonna be dead. Yo, this bitch ain't gonna open up. This gonna be to BC 2029 AD after death and shit. Umar Johnson is crazy, y'all. Like, yo, he gotta stop with the shenanigans, yo. The jig is up, bro. Just open the school, yo. Stop doing interviews until the school open. Yo, I said that shit months ago. No more interviews, no more speaking engagements. Focus on the school, man. Like the lady said to him. Like, how are you going to do all these things and open the school? Like, is that even possible? Is it possible to say you do 300 speaking engagements a year and open the school by yourself? I don't know, Umar. I think that's a stretch, man.
Then we went to the white people and they did the work. You know how painful that is, bro?
So black people stealing
your
from
people take the money, not do the work, and you go to the white people and they knock it out.
Wow. That's crazy. There's also an idea out there that Dr. Umar should have did an online school. Dr. Umar should have went that way.
But if you want an online school, go open up one.
I'm asking you.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying them.
He could have been a
What's your feelings on
that? Is
that?
my vision.
Right.
Do you see that?
Yes.
If Loon says, I'm going to open up a studio downtown in the biggest building, who are you to go and tell Loon to put it in his basement? That's his dream, his vision. If you want a podcast studio in your basement, go put it in your basement. But you don't impose your low expectations on the next man. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm living for the future. I'm not living for you.
Do you understand?
And there's no proof that online schools are better. And if you go back to COVID, Loon, you should remember this. When our kids were forced to be at home and learn, it was a disaster, bro. Do you not remember that?
Oh, man.
He forgot that he wasn't paying niggas. If y'all remember, he was asking people to do this shit for free. That's probably why black people say, man, fuck that. You think we gonna be in this bitch slaving for free? And there's videos of people trying to do work and Umar Johnson bluffing them. They was trying to donate things.
See the teachers? They say, yeah, he's online, but he got a separate screen watching porn while the class. Do you feel me?
And you really are trying to affect our boys in a positive way.
Now, did you see the suicide rate for black girls went through the roof during COVID schooling? Because the home is so toxic. That's where they get molested, abused.
Look, you see what I'm saying? That's where they being molested and abused. Yo, what percentage of that is like, yo, come on, like this is what I be talking about. You out here pushing stereotypical nonsense, bro. Like, things like that is just happening in the black community.
Look, online, are you after COVID? You got black people still talking about an online school. They not serious.
That's a great fucking point.
Most of our kids
No,
are raised by single moms who got to work so many jobs that they can't be home to properly supervise them. What about the obesity in black kids, Loon? They're not moving. What you want an online school for? You lazy slop. You know what?
Listen to this man, y'all. Yo, he is characterizing the whole black community this way. All of us. Come on, Umar. Tighten up, my nigga.
Bothers me about it, Loon. When it's time to go to the club, we want the best. When it's time to get a new car, we want the best. When it's time to buy a house, we want the best. When it's time to party a vacation, we want the best. But when it's time to educate our kids,
that like button, y'all.
We will accept the bare minimum. Look at that, an online school. So your fat, lazy-ass kid can just sit there and do. You feel me? Come on, man.
Now the kid's fat and lazy. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, y'all, but our kids are fat and lazy. They are. The numbers say it. What the fuck is this nigga talking about? I go, my kids ain't fat and lazy. Like, what kids are you talking about, Umar? Like, be specific, man. Don't characterize everybody like that. You got fat and lazy in every community, man. It ain't just black people.
I'm with you. Let me ask you this.
You know how much you can do with a real school compared to online? The only reason why online schools are popular is because they cater to lazy kids.
Now, he don't know that.
And they cater to people who want to keep as much overhead as possible.
That's what it really is.
You ain't got no school buses, no school lunch, no class.
Nothing. Yeah. Just take the money.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
And that's what I was about to say. If you were really money hungry, like
I would have did online.
That's what I'm saying.
You know how many people
you would be global right now.
You know how many people approach me saying you need to do this and I can help you, bro? Just your name? I'm like, y'all don't get it. That ain't the way we fix this.
Right.
That ain't the way we fix this. I see him on the computer. No, they got to be in my face. They need to feel me. Drop me, give me 20 right now. You feel me? I tell people like, hey, are you sure you're going to be able to get enough kids to come to the school? First of all, we starting small. Second of all, are you kidding? Once your son come to that school one day, if you try to take it.
Mind you, y'all, you have to pay for this school, even if you donate it. You could have donated at the time of opening $70,000. Your child ain't getting in that bitch free. And remember, y'all, he said he's going to have donations at the door. You can't forget that. I mean, he's going to have donations at the door, man. It's like church. You know what I mean? You come in, drop a donation off. And your child. And I'll see you in a month.
No, he ain't going to leave. You feel me? Once he get a taste of what we doing in there, he ain't leaving.
I'm glad with everything being said about you and all of the detractors, it doesn't put your fire out.
No.
That's one of the most important things. Like, even when Young Thug, I was around him when a lot of stuff was going on online. And I was, I personally know these people.
The kids are going to stay on campus. He don't even want the kids to go back home. This shit like jail. This shit like juvenile hall. You heard me? Once your kids get UMAR, they ain't coming back. You know what I mean? If they do come back, they ain't going to be the same as you left them. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying. It's going to be a thing.
Yeah, so it's like, I like to see that that fire don't die, even when the controversy high, even when it's, I'm behind schedule, I'm running behind.
And you know why, Loon? Because I got too many elders who are counting on me to give them a victory before they leave here, bro.
Yes.
I had an elder, this past week I heard from 3 elders, bro, who I never knew before, right? One brother called, he said, yo, Dr. Umar, I'm sitting here with my mom watching you, she 82. Put her on the phone, Dr. Umar, don't you stop, you keep doing, don't you you feel me? I had another elder, she was like in her 70s, I'm like, why these elders hit me up today? And I said, I know why. That's the ancestors sending them to say, listen, don't you get caught up in that online hype. You got old folks here who need a victory before they go. They've been donating to that school, they need to see it open. They need this.
Yeah, for sure. And you saying you about...
So now they've been donating to the school, but you just said you ain't never seen them before, never heard of them before. But now they've been donating to the school. All right, Umar.
Finish. You're about...
Oh, we done.
You're done. You're waiting on the inspection. Yes.
I haven't applied for it yet because we need to clean out the school. Now, you feel me? Now you got
Right.
Your
Make it got a little
supplies
speak
back.
and span when they come through.
Yeah, I want it clean. I mean,
I would want
I
to
ain't
speak
gonna
and
wait.
span.
I'm not gonna wait for us to do the waxing. That can wait till after.
Not the waxing,
You
but
feel me?
I'm
But
just
just
saying.
sweep it out real good, enough for them to walk and not fall over.
You gonna paint that bitch again too?
Screwdrivers and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We just want to clean
Now,
it out.
if you had to speak to a black parent, what would you say that your school is designed to fix that public schools can't for black children?
Public school is designed to be honest with you, you should need no convincing from public school. But what are we going to give them? We're going to give black boys the self-love that a black boy should have.
Now, what happened to the cookout he supposed to throw in September or August? Like he just act like he never even say that shit. Guess the cookout wasn't never happening.
We're going to give them manhood, leadership training, knowledge of self, and the ability to go out into this world and do anything they want to do with themselves. But they ain't even gonna have to ask.
Right.
Because after 1 month, they'll see a transformation in a month that they ain't seen in years over there. You feel me? The proof gonna be in the pudding. The proof gonna be in the pudding.
And so much as I believe in you, and you know I believe, I rock with you, and we've been friends for years.
My hardest job is turning away parents when the class size max, because I don't want to overburden my teachers. You feel me? Can't have but so many.
Yo, he has not mentioned staff at all. I think the staff's got to work for free, y'all. Like, yo, this, I told y'all before, nobody's getting paid for this. Like, this is a self-serve mission. You feel me? If you're a teacher at FDMG Academy, you better be retired. I mean, I hope you got enough associate. You better be doing Uber on the side, DoorDash, Lyft, Amazon Prime, Amazon or something. You ain't getting paid. I promise you that shit. He ain't never mentioned that. Now, where's the money? So let's say the school is gonna open. Where's the money coming from to finance this building and to pay your staff?
I'm looking at 2025, right? I don't want to go 30 like public school. You feel me? And I know once we max, that's when it's gonna hurt.
Right.
Dr. Umar, they try to put
at least another 2 million.
I can't. You feel me? And then that's when I got to tell them, you see that school across the street, the Frederick Douglass building? We need money to get it right. Once we get that up, you feel me? That's what I got to tell them.
Move to the next one.
That's going to be the hardest part of the job.
Right.
Basically, what he mean is hit the cash app. So basically, when the school's at capacity and it got an overflow of parents wanting their kids in the school, his response going to be to them is hit the cash app, hit the PayPal, hit the Zelle. $sign FDMG Academy. That's the fuck you going to tell people, y'all.
Do you ever look at it and say, because your heart is in the right place, your mission is in the right place, do you ever feel like you under-engineered this?
No, of course you did.
You just didn't think it all the way through. With some of the, well, you do have certain things that's taking place, like the note on the door or little things. Well,
I don't control getting deep bank. I don't control them not returning my calls and emails.
Yo, this nigga don't take no accountability, y'all. God damn. Yo, this is sickening from a black man, y'all. This guy takes I don't think he ever said anything was his fault. Ever. Like, what the fuck? Has anybody ever seen him say, that was my bad? Like, you would have thought, see, if he'd have said that, you know what? I think I did. I think I seriously underestimated, what goes into creating a financial institution, just built off of black dollars. I think people would have respected that. I think people would be like, all right, okay. But nope, that Uber, fuck no, he do nothing wrong. Everything he did is right. Crazy, yo.
Well, there's also a side of it to where if they are ignoring you and you know that conversation has been had, that you take the initiative to know, I have buildings over there. Y'all reached out at some point and now y'all ignoring me. Of course, you shouldn't have to. They should reach out to you.
They still ignore it.
What?
Yeah. What? I'm hoping we over that now.
Yeah.
But it's at a point now, because they made it kind of clear that they don't want me there with their behavior. It's at a point where, and I hope it don't go there, where I'm going to have to call all my supporters from around
I was going to ask you that.
And march on the city.
I hope it don't go there.
I thought he was gonna do that shit 2 months ago. 2 months ago, he said that was his plan. That nobody, yo, it's gonna be a whole bunch of Black Lives Matter activists up that bitch, parading like they the people of the community.
But if they don't stop, I'm gonna have to go there. I haven't met with the mayor yet,
Definitely gotta
so
be
maybe
stopped.
I need to go there first if this keeps up. I need to talk to him personally, because if he don't intervene, then we go to the streets. I can at least tell the media I went to the top guy.
Yeah.
Right? I've only communicated with the mayor's chief of staff, and he was no help at all. You know what I mean? He didn't give me no answer as to why I was being ignored, any of that. So he was
That's
useless,
crazy.
right? And he's black.
Yeah.
Right? And then the person under him lied and communicated with one of the struggle streamers and said that the city has been in constant contact with me. That was a complete lie. And I got with the chief of staff. I said, you need to talk to him. Not only is he talking to haters on YouTube, which I don't think is professional, he putting out misinformation. If it's one thing that they do that I don't like, aside from trying to sell the school, like if you say, what's the on? They share too much of our information with people who ain't got no business knowing.
No, he talking about Delaware.
And that's something I'm going to have to look into with an attorney too as well, because I was told they're not supposed to do that. Like people should not be able to call a city and just get any information about you and your school that they want.
It's public information.
You feel me? It's very, when they know you.
It's public information, bro. What are you talking about? It's public. It's all public. It's not illegal.
You're the only one who interfaces with the city. Y'all know that. So why are you just talking to random people? I know some of that is hate.
Yeah.
Right? But legally, I got to look into that because
I got a couple
free with my information.
Right. I got a couple different questions.
I'd have ended it too.
With you going through that with the city, do you really feel in your heart that you can mobilize black people in that way to march on the city? And I don't mean a couple hundred. I mean like.
I think so. There's no way to know it except to do it. But I think we can, especially if they know the school done, which it is, and they playing around with this permit, because this next thing is really going to decide. You feel me? Are they going to give us are they going to play a million games? I mean, I'm going to work with them a little bit. But once I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? They don't intend to give us the permit. They're just going to dog walk us the whole time. I'll probably consult with attorney first. Definitely got to meet with the lawyer. Excuse me, the mayor. And then after that, we probably got to get a permit to march on the city, get the media involved. You know.
So it lets you know he's already planning this in his mind. Because, you know, good and goddamn well, that shit is not going to pass. He's going to get declined the permit. He's fully aware of this, y'all.
And then we might got to sue him.
Yeah.
Because we've definitely been discriminated against. So
already?
Yeah. What they did with trying to sell the school, that was low. So we've been discriminated against already. So it may be trying to...
If they would have sold the school behind your back, say you were in Africa, and of course we're in hypothetical.
Yeah, he is.
If they would have sucked all the air out of you?
Nah.
Still got fire burning. They took the school, I'm still...
When they sabotaged Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line, steamship corporation, which was incorporated in Delaware.
Yeah, well, let me know, Mitch.
Black Cross Navigation. You got to keep going.
Let me know what you see, man. Send me a video, man.
Put a price or a timeline on people's hope. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can't put a price and timeline on it. When the white people was attacking Garvey, black woman stood up and
he said something about hope. There you go. Red flag, y'all. Whenever you hear somebody talking about hope, red flag. Because that's all they ever try to sell people. My man say hope sell faster than dope. We heard Jasmine Crockett talking about hope and all of that. Whenever these guys are talking about hope, you know they on some bullshit.
If they would have sucked all the air out of you?
Nah.
Still got fire burning. They took the school, I'm still...
When they sabotaged Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line, steamship corporation, which was incorporated in Delaware, he started the Black Cross Navigation. You got to keep going.
Damn.
You can't put a price or a timeline on people's hope.
Yep, I know it.
You follow what I'm saying?
Red flag.
You can't put a price and timeline on it. When the white people was attacking Garvey, black woman stood up and she said, why are you worried about our money?
We giving this money to Marcus Garvey to build it. It ain't yours.
Right.
They say he ain't getting nothing from the government. Mind your business. If we want to give Garvey the money and he failed, then we decide if it's an issue.
Yes.
Y'all don't care about us.
Oh,
Why y'all
shit.
worrying about if it's an issue or not?
Right.
Same thing I say to my haters.
Yeah, it's like, and again, I'm glad I pointed that out so they can, because they stand on the fact that on October the 20-something, 2024, Dr. Umar said that he didn't get up. It's like, bro, the date is wrong, respectfully. Because when you pull it from YouTube videos, bro, there's a level of information in the backdrop that doesn't show on the upload. When it really was shot versus when it was uploaded. You know, there's things happening that they're not accounting for, man. It's like,
I never paid much attention to them.
Yeah, you did. You blocked me, bitch.
The people who gonna be for you, and the ones who not. If you would have told me 12 years ago when almost 12 years ago when we took our first donation in St. Louis, April 12, 2014.
12 years ago.
If you would have said, did you think that your own people would sabotage your GoFundMe for the school, sabotage your Cash App for the school, sabotage your bank accounts for the school, slander you, vandalize the school? I had people call the utility company and try to get the utilities turned. You follow what I'm saying? This is why I don't answer the questions, Lou, because the questions are disingenuous. You know why? You don't ask the people sabotaging us why they sabotaging us, but you want to ask me why the school ain't open yet. That's disingenuous. Why am I asking Loon why your podcast ain't up when I know he's sabotaging Loon, he's sabotaging Loon, why don't I go have a conversation with the saboteurs? You see what I'm saying?
Somebody else's fault,
If there was no sabotage, that's a different conversation.
Right.
But not only did I have to fight the city, I had to fight the YouTubian struggle streamers, fake woke people. I mean, I remember one time we called the gas company. They said, somebody, you just called here. I said, no, I didn't. They was using my name, bro. Oh. So now I got to use passwords because these people, they do anything for a couple struggle streams, man.
And that's too much. And that's what I'm saying. To me, that's
why I said earlier, I shouldn't have to fight them. My people should take care of my haters for me. But we've never been there.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm done. Yeah, this nigga just expect everybody to do his work. He don't want to book venues. He be on FaceTimes or Instagram or YouTube lives telling people, yo, check into this for me. See if they do it for free. Like, it's no accountability with this guy, yo. None. Nothing is his fault. Like, yo, like how can nothing be your fault? Like, nothing at all? Nothing. Get the fuck out of here. Man, make sure I hit that like button, man. I'm done with Umar. Yeah, I can't keep going. I can't. Enough's enough, man. It's at this point, it's put up or shut up, bro. Stop doing interviews. You shouldn't have announced the school was finished without getting the school inspected. Like, we ain't trying to hear none of that shit, man. It is our fault, yo. I said that before, yo. It's our fault. You know what I mean? You can't blame, yo. We didn't donate enough. You know what I mean? If there's anybody to blame for Fdmg Academy doors still haven't been open, it's us. Blame me. Fuck it. It's my fault. Fuck it. If he ain't gonna take accountability for it, I will. You know what I mean? So any backlash y'all got, yo, just send that shit to me. You feel me? But yo, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's another day, keep what you do. And I'm out.